Welcome back to Bazaar. I'm Inko, and today I'll be doing an over-explained run for Pig. Normally, I record these introductions to show you what the run will be like, give a brief overview of how things are going to play out to set expectations, but today I haven't done the run just yet. Today we're going to explain what an over-explained run is, and that's simple enough. I normally do my best to explain my thought process, but I'm doing like the end point of my thought process. I'm not explaining why these thoughts matter or what my overall goals are. I'm just explaining directly in front of me why I think option 1 is better than options 2 and 3. This run will not be an explanation of basic game mechanics, but it will be as thorough an explanation as I can possibly give of why I'm doing everything I'm doing in a run so that you can better understand why people like me make the decisions we do. And before I get into the run at all, I would like to say this run is also an open invitation for you to ask any questions about Pig in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them, but additionally, I will take that in mind for making some sort of Pig guide in the next season, because I don't know exactly what people struggle with, how I'd want to order a Pig guide. I think this video will serve as a good place to start for seeing what people want the most help with for how to play Pig. And one last thing before we start the run, I will be playing with frozen assets turned on. I am most used to playing with it. If I turned it off, I'd be giving instructions on how to play the game that I'm more unfamiliar with. In a week's time, this should be available to everyone, not just paid players. And it's just an unfortunate side effect of the current monetization of the game, that whether I play with this on or off, there will be a lot of players who are doing the other one and getting less information from this run than otherwise possible, but there's nothing to be done about it. I am most well versed playing this on, so I will be playing with it on. Let's get into the run and start explaining things, shall we? So hour 1 of the game, you will always be given Pygmalien's Loft and always be given a choice of one of 3 kits. The option you should never pick is Gold tier skill. On Pygmalion, this is a bad decision. On Vanessa and Dooley, it's actually quite strong. On Dooley, it might be dependent on which core you get. But on Pig, you have a very hard time turning any of the most powerful early game skills into consistent wins, at least compared to the other characters. And then on top of that, on Pig, every single unique Pig skill is a bad starting skill, which really dilutes the pool compared to the other characters. Which leaves Enchanted Item and Income Start. The Enchanted Item, again, on Pig, I don't think is that good. Pig has so many bad small items like Bandages and Halati and Property Security System, whatever it's called. There are so many bad small items in Pig that it's very hard to think this is going to reliably give you anything. I pick it all the time, and I'd say like at least half the time, I basically don't get a starting item. It's really, really easy to miss with this on average. By far, the best start on Pig, and arguably the best start in anyone, is the Income Start. The reason it's at its best in Pig, though, is because Pig is the one character comfortable trying to win on day 16. If you are a Dooley or a Vanessa on days 15 and 16, you are terrified when you see Pygmalion, because they can scale so thoroughly and win so effectively. Those other characters really need their early wins so they don't have to fight a day 15 Pygmalion. But we are the day 15 Pygmalion. We're okay with losing in the early game because we will scale up and be monsters in the super late game. Additionally, aside from like specifically a small couple of items like succulents and matchboxes, there are very few enchanted items that will be the thing you win your run with. Usually the thing that Pygmalion wants is going to be a silver tier starting item or a medium or large item. Those are the things you win with. Having the extra gold to secure a really strong early income to go to all the shops to find the build to be playing. I think on Pygmalion, just between the other options being weak, you being strong in the late game, and your win conditions not being available from the other 2 options, it's a very easy choice to go for gold and income. I will often take Enchanted Item because it's fun, but it is not even remotely optimal. Now, before I click anything here, we have Andy, we have Strange Mushroom, and we have Looking for Spare Change. I have to deal with 2 things. The first is somebody watching this video doesn't know what Strange Mushroom is. And that's just a massive pain in the ass, is there's so much information obscured when you start the game, it's hard to explain where to start. Because if you don't know what this is, then genuinely, the right play is click on this. Don't even think about it. Click on this and figure it out. But that sabotages your run, and there are alternatives. I have a bookmark folder on my computer that I just middle click to open all of the bookmarks on it that opens this. How Bazaar.gg is instrumental in terms of just like making decisions. I'm going to cover this more later. However, there are also very valuable images posted on the Reddit. This is an image of the encounter sheet, which I need to open in a new tab to zoom in on, I guess. And this shows you what days every encounter is, what they can be. It is just literally every single thing. So for those of you who are like, I don't know what this is, look up the resource, figure it out. And the answer is a strange mushroom gives you a neutral item or gain 3 gold. This is actually not the whole truth though. You'll see there's a hidden 4th choice where you can add 20 heal to a bushel if you have a bushel. And the gain 3 gold, this was written a little bit early. It's actually 4 gold. This is a mistaken note from the patch notes. But using resources like these to figure out what things do is really important to making the correct choice. Something I will say often in my own videos, I'll have like a really clear choice where something's obviously correct no matter what the other choice says, because option A is just so strong. And I will say, if you are making a decision without knowing what the alternatives are, it is always the wrong way to make the decision. Even if you got the right result, you made the decision wrong. So you need to know what Strange Mushroom does to know whether or not you should go there. On a lot of characters, if you have a weak income start, you often go here on day 1 to get 4 gold. That's not us. We have crazy amounts of money, and it's up against less gold, so it's a pretty easy Andy choice for us. And I will mention now that it's very easy to just like tell what Andy's going to sell. You can go to howbazaar.gg, filter items, Pygmalion Bronze Smalls. This is the 32 items that Pygmalion, well, not all of them, because stuff like Piggles isn't actually sellable, but this will show you everything you can find at Andy. And I cannot overstate how useful that tool is. But quite simply, we don't have a build yet, and those options are gold versus finding a build, so we go to Andy to start finding a build. Now, this first page is genuinely awful. The rewards card is great. This is a powerful economy scaling option. If you want to do anything involving any big property, rewards card is part of that. We're happy to have found this. However, Laser Security System and Kukri are both 9-second long scaling items. You aren't going to have that many healing items to trigger Kukri. Even if you do, it doesn't scale that much. It's just a very bad item at any tier, but especially at bronze. And the same thing is true with Laser Security System. You're not going to have that many properties. It's just genuinely terrible. You can buy this to make yourself a little bit stronger on day 1 if you're feeling desperate. If I were on like the 5th hour of the day, if I were about to go into my PvP fight, I might buy one of these just to fill out my board. But there are 2 hours left. I have no reason to do that. And let's get into frame of mind as well. I would rather just lose day 1 than buy this. I think the odds of this affecting my day 1 fight and being the difference in winning or losing are so low that I'm basically just throwing away 1 gold if I ever buy this. Same with the Kukri. These don't want to be on my board today or ever. Buying them is only something I would do if I really thought it stood a chance of impacting day 1, and I've got hours left, so it's not even a discussion I'm having right now. We're just rolling. And this is pretty rough, because like, yeah, Hatchet is free money. You buy Hatchet anytime you see it beneath gold tier, because it just sells for the amount that it takes to get. There's no reason not to. So you can do this, and then if you find a second Hatchet, this is the reason you buy Hatchet all the time, is you'll buy a second Bronze Hatchet. It'll give you the silver upgrade and a silver truffle, which is not worth 2 gold, it's worth 3 gold, so theoretically, by buying and holding low-tier hatchets, you can generate money by upgrading them. Now, the problem here is that the hatchet doesn't actually do anything. Yo-Yo is very weak post-bonk, it just doesn't charge that quickly. I might buy it, if only because it gives me something to put next to a Ganjo. It would be a 4-speed item, effectively, next to a Ganjo. Ganjo can win early days on its own. Jewelry does nothing for me. This is a card where generally if you're running it, it's because you have found synergy pieces for it. You basically never stack jewelry. I am taking the Yo-Yo. It's very, very weak. But if I find Ganjo, it could be the reason I win day 1. I would just have it like this with Ganjo in the middle, and that might scale me up enough to win. Now, getting into our day 1 fight, I am going to give you some news about day 1 fights. We don't even see Viper. We beat all of these if we set up our board like that. There is only one day 1 fight that you will always lose with an empty board, and that is Viper. The other 5 you always beat. Coming over to howbazaar.gg, they have a tab for monsters. You can go to the day 1 fights and see that these are the 5 monsters. I will mention I said you always beat them. There are 2 slight caveats to that. Kyber Drone, because he has a trained and worst case RNG causes this to keep buffing itself. You actually can lose if you do literally nothing with worst case RNG, but you will never lose if you have no items on your board, because then there's no target for the slow and he doesn't scale. Additionally, Fanged Inglet, I think, can kill you because he has a 5% crit chance. So there's like a theoretically incredibly small, like 1 in a million chance that he always crits you and you lose, but you shouldn't ever lose this. I've never heard of that happening to anyone. Viper's the only one you need to care about. Now, coming to the 3 we have Pyro, which is incredible if you're playing a Matchbox build. We're currently not playing any build. This stuff is basically all trash. Haunted Komodo, really not ever something you want to fight on pretty much any build. There's just not a good reward for Haunted Komodo. And Banana Bolt. And I shouldn't be telling you that, I should be showing you. So, coming over to Haunted Komodo, it can give you a Silk Scarf at bronze that doesn't scale enough and give you a scrap, but odds are you're not committed to a single scrap item, or sorry, shield item that you want to scrap on day 1. Then at the Pyro, The cinders are very good. They sell for 2 each. They buff a matchbox. Lighter's very good if you have a matchbox. It's a fast item that burns. Fiery is great with a matchbox. And then lastly, there is Bananable. Bananable has a 1 in 3 at duct tape, and duct tape is arguably the strongest shield item in the game. If you find duct tape, you can have builds where you just use duct tape and nothing else to scale your defenses to the moon and kill them with another item. And if you miss duct tape, that's a 1 in 2 at blue nanas, which unlocks the tiny furry monster for 1 experience. I'll cover that more later. Or a med kit, which at least buffs something, right? Like, duct tape being a hit here often means that if you're not playing a build that cares about Pyro or Viper, then you probably just click Bananable. By far, the worst RNG day 1 is you see Haunting Kimono, Kyber Drone, Fanged Inglet. You have no reason to care about anything from Kyber Drone. And in that case, you usually take the pelt because it's, or not the pelt, the Fanged Inglet because of the pelt, because this gives them the highest average gold value of those enemies. For us, though, I'm going to fight Bananable. I think the odds of hitting duct tape being 1 in 3 are like by far the highest reward here. I don't have a matchbox for caring about going into anything to do with cinders or fiery yet. So this opening up apropos chapeau as an insane defensive just 3 slots, insane defenses, that's all you need. It's so strong, it's worth coming here. Yes, there's a 66% you miss, but basically any fight you ever take, there's going to be a higher chance you get nothing than you get the thing you want. And while we wait for Sandstorm to get here and end my non-violent protest, because I'm really not doing anything in this fight, my board is literally empty, I'll remind you that you can sub to the channel for more daily Bazaar content just like this. And if whenever you do leave, you can hit the like button. It really does boost the channel up in the algorithm and help spread it around, and I really do appreciate it. Anyways, the Sandstorm is here. The Bananable is dead. Beautiful pun, by the way. He's a banana cannibal. In case anyone hasn't gotten that yet, I love this guy to death. Fantastic flavor. And we get Medkit. I'm actually kind of happy about that. Something I don't want to happen with this run is to get really good RNG, because if I got duct tape, I probably would spend the entire run playing around duct tape, and it would become less transferable to other runs. The longer we go without finding something crazy, the more valuable this run is. Now, right now, looking at my board, I have nothing. My board is atrocious. So coming back to frame of mind, yeah, I can go JJ, and he'll probably make my board better. I'm not winning day 1. I have given up on that. To win on day 2, I need to be level 3 at the end of day 2, which requires you to get 2 bonus experience. You can get 1 bonus experience by killing Rogue Scrapper, or whatever your rightmost enemy is on day 2, but Rogue Scrapper is the only rightmost enemy currently. I'll cover that more in a second. And then you need a 2nd bonus experience, which I can get from Tiny Furry Monster. If you have a toy, or a food, or a friend, you can go to Tiny Furry Monster and take 1 additional experience, and that's going to help me there as well. Additionally, that extra experience means I will level up after my PvP fight, which is important because it means if I get an income option, I can take that before the fight. And as I've given up, like I said, on winning day 1, I am going to take Tiny Furry Monster for the experience here. I need to do this during one of the next 7 hours no matter what. And again, I've given up winning day 1. Ayla's not going to sell me anything that could possibly win on day 1 anyway. If she sells me weapons, I have no scaling to go with them, right? Like currently, this is my board. This is what I've got, right? I don't even have a 2nd active item for my bronze yo-yo that's dealing 1 damage. There simply is not a board right now. Going to Ayla will give me an item. Maybe she gives me a Pygmalien longbow and I can win with that, right? There's an incredibly small chance that Ayla could actually result in a day 1 win. We're talking way under 10%. However, these other options get an item. I would never click this. I don't need the economy. If I were up against 2 things like Treasure Chest, I would go to Ayla. But Jungle Ruins on Pig has an incredibly powerful option. If you are Pygmalien, gain 2 income. We're winning late. We're not winning right now. We accepted that this was a possibility at the start of day 1. There are definitely runs with Pygmalien where you get a better first shop and you're able to justify going to subsequent shops and trying to win day 1. This is not that run. We were never winning day 1. Whoever gets this ghost is getting a free win, and we're going to be losing our day 1 fight. I don't know what our opponent has to do for us to win. We have literally nothing. He has a poison item, we're dead. That's all it takes. Now, I will mention something here. Anytime we start a fight throughout this entire run, I'm going to immediately say whether we win or lose, because I'm going to be analyzing my opponent's board and trying to figure that out. It's not important that you're able to do that, or even that you're trying to do that. I do this because it helps me understand which items are strong and why. And it's just the thing that helps you learn is to analyze boards, but it's an entirely unnecessary step in the actual playing of the game. You could put a blindfold on during every PvP fight, and it wouldn't actually impact the end result of your run, just your progress at learning the game. I'll also mention while I'm here, aside from Seaweed obviously being a crazy card, that early game poison and regen items like this jellyfish can single-handedly carry early combats, because they deal so much damage in the first couple of days relative to any static item. Anyway, loss on day 1, fully expected, not alarmed by it at all. We're Pygmalien, we'll be just fine. We get a bronze skill off Pip, and that's a tough choice. Strength is actually just clearly the wrong choice here. I want to be clear, we do not have a board. There is nothing on this board to impact our decision making. We're just picking a skill based on what we think we'll play later. And the odds that strength is important are very minor. That basically is just like assuming I'll go into a Crook build, and Crook is probably not happening for the next couple of days anyway. Healthy Hoarder is very, very strong, and it scales very well. Like if you hit a Grandmaster and upgrade this to Silver, it's 100 health at Silver as opposed to 35. It's kind of crazy. It's a lot of health. However, I'm going to be taking Final Flame. I'm going to be going to like every shop that can sell a Matchbox, trying to find Matchboxes on days 2 and 3. This is because if I get an early Matchbox, it gives me a very good chance of duping a Matchbox. And Final Flame scales the Matchbox incredibly. Matchbox is a base 4 burn item. When you find builds that scale it up to like 20 burn, those builds are monstrously powerful. So I'm going to be taking Final Flame. Even if I miss Matchbox, items like Hot Stones are really strong early and can carry my build. I'm going to be running things that go well with Matchbox, even if I don't find the Matchbox, so I'm going to the shops that look for Matchbox anyway. There's an argument to Healthy Hoarder here. It is genuinely very good, but Final Flame has a much higher chance of actually winning fights than Healthy Hoarder does.
9 years.
And the earlier you win fights, the better. I am Pygmalien. I am comfortable trying to win on day 15. But I would much rather I didn't have to win on day 15. Funnily enough, our choice of Tiny Furry Monster versus JJ has been repeated here, and I'm going to make the other choice this time. I really highly value XP. We're going to cover that more very shortly. Experience is king in this game. I generally will go after experience to the detriment of everything else. However, we don't beat Rogue Scrapper right now. If I skip a store, it might result in me losing experience on hour 3 because I cannot beat the most experienced monster. So we go JJ. We simply need to find something.
Sometimes I sell stuff.
That's awkward. I don't really want to play Fixer Upper right now, but I am going to buy it because I have nothing else going for me and enough money that I can float a Fixer Upper. I'm also going to instantly drop these truffles. I don't need to yet. So let's talk about why I'm not dropping the truffles. You should not sell an item unless you have a reason to sell it. There are several reasons you might need to sell something. You might need to make inventory space to pick something up. You might be at a store that buys it for additional value. You might have a loot item that you're holding until you can put it on something that actually impacts something. But even then, you'll wait until your PvP fight to do it in case you find a store that buys it for more value before the PvP fight. Generally, if you don't have a reason to sell something right now, it is incorrect to sell something, which is why I'm keeping the truffles instead of immediately assigning them to Fixer Upper. And I bought the Fixer Upper first because for every 50 gold you spend to upgrade this, I want this upgrading as fast as possible. Briefcase cost nothing. It is a 0 gold buy because when I sell it, I will get 2 spare change and it will sell for a total of 4, same as I bought it for. Marbles are just good. They're fast, they're strong, I want them. Now, on this next page, we get robbed a little bit. Textiles can be good with a Ganjo. It's pretty terrible without one, though, and we don't have a Ganjo. It's also 8th gold. Laser security system just isn't very good. Bird is fantastic, but this is not the stuff that's going to win a fight, so we're probably going to the next store as well because we still do not beat Rogue Scrapper. Gain 1 income is good, but we have 9 income already. 4 gold is good, but we have 7 gold, and we're actually holding on to things we could otherwise sell, so it's all fine. We're going Andy here every time. If we find a burn item, we can beat the Rogue Scrapper no problem. If we don't, we have an issue. I'm going to buy bandages, even though it's very, very minor. It's much better than these weapons if I find a matchbox on the next page, and because I have this to sell for 4 gold, I'm not as broke as I look. I'm also going to buy Piggles. These generate small, fast items that can be very good on a matchbox board, or just fill out a board generally. Halati's not worth buying. I'm not a weapon build. If I had a Ganjo, I'd regret not having it, but I don't have a Ganjo. And we have been given no burn items in the 3 shops we hit, which is unfortunate considering our skill. There's no merit to buying Pepper Spray or Brass Knuckle. We have like nothing to scale these. They don't do anything individually, same with jewelry. And that puts us in a really, really awkward spot. Since we didn't find Matchbox, Ladle, or Hot Stones, we do not stack burn, we do not do anything, we do not beat Rogue Scrapper. In fact, we probably don't even beat Covetous Thief. It's horribly awkward because I don't even know we beat Coconut Crab. This very, very rarely happens that your first 3 shops give you so little you struggle on your day 2 fight, but here we are. We're going Coconut Crab. It's the weakest fight. It's the only one I stand any chance of winning. Also, my board is mispositioned here. I should have done this differently. It's not going to matter, but the bird... Oh wait, the bird and briefcase are the same speed. I'm losing my mind. I was thinking that the yo-yo was in the wrong position. I guess it is in a roundabout way. The yo-yo is faster than the bird. I could get very marginally faster slows, very marginally faster 1 damage, but frankly, it doesn't matter. This is a thing where I was pretty confident I was beating Coconut Crab, even though we have almost nothing. And more importantly, optimizing 1 damage is nothing, so I wasn't really concerned with it. At some point, a decision point is so minor that thinking about it is a waste of time. I don't think most people are prone to this, but I am. And it's why I didn't think about moving the yo-yo. It just deals 1 damage, but it is technically in the wrong spot. And thankfully, we do manage to beat Coconut Crab. You know, barely, but we managed to beat Coconut Crab.
You'll win, and you'll win.
The seashell with no aquatic items will not be entering our board. And this is rough because, again, Ayla is the one vendor that cannot help us. There's just not a weapon that fixes this board, same as yesterday. I'm taking another 2 income. I didn't even cover the last option. It was a gain an item type of option. I need to slow down a little bit. I'm just a little bit on tilt about the shop offerings we've had. But 2 income sets us up to continue doing well down the line. B1, B2 versus Kev. We picked up a blue Pyggle in that fight, which doesn't really do a lot. I think this is our current optimal board. We'll level up. No, we won't. We don't even have the experience because we couldn't fight Rogue Scrapper. Oh, that's so sad. Kev is a 4 gold roll when I don't really have money to liquidate right now. That's the incredibly awkward thing. Like, I do have money. I can sell these things, but I don't want to sell them to roll for 4 gold. This is an important thing that I see a lot of new players do wrong. They go to Kev, even though they can't really afford anything, and they certainly can't afford to roll. If you only see the front page of a shop, it's pretty rough. Kev can sell Apropos Chapeau and Ganja, which gives me chances of winning today, but I can't really afford to roll for them, and there are so many bad items he can sell me instead. Right now, it doesn't look like we win anytime soon. I'm going to go to B1, B2. Again, there was a gain an item option that I didn't explain that I didn't want to go to. But I want to upgrade this rewards card to better our odds of winning with Fixer Upper down the line, because as we get nothing for longer and longer, it becomes progressively more likely that we have to win on Fixer Upper. I am going to sell this truffle now. On the very small chance that I win, I do not want to lose a Pyggle. And as far as optimal boards go, this one is just absolutely atrocious. It's not a good board. But it's the best we've been given with the shops we've seen. So, our opponent lost, but the odds they are weaker than us are basically 0. I don't know what board they could have that we win on day 2. Crow's Nest Cutlass with 40 base damage, huh? It seems a little bit better than what I'm doing, I'll be honest with you. I think the worst part of the nothing we've gotten is that it makes it very hard to win on days 3 through 5. We don't have any pieces that are even particularly good alongside of a matchbox. We probably can't take the hardest fight on day 3 right now either. So we're just missing a tremendous amount to turn this around. This is one of those runs where you're desperately trying to win and turn the corner and get like a winning rate starting on day 10. Now, coming to this level up reward, very rarely it's right to get a blank tier item, because that's almost always less gold than get 2 gold and a same tier loot item. Additionally though, the bronze tier loot item in this case is able to give you power directly to your current board. You basically only click this if you're desperately trying to fill out a board, and usually bronze loot is the right thing. However, you also get a randomized option. This can be a lot of different things, but very frequently it'll be get gold on a condition. In our case, it is 7 gold per property, and we have a property, so it is 7 gold versus a bronze tier loot item. The bronze tier loot item sells for 1 gold, so it is essentially spending 4 gold for 1 loot item. If that's a bad rate, we take the gold. Coming into day 3, we gotta turn the corner soon. Herma can sell me a Apropos Chapeau or a Ganja. Those are items that fix this. She can also sell Hot Stones. Hot Stones is a burn item. It's one of the things that goes alongside Matchbox. It gives us a source of damage. It helps us start to turn the corner. Unfortunately, Hogwash really isn't very helpful. When you heal, gain 50 max health for the fight can be a lot, but I don't have the money or room for this. I know I have the money to literally buy it, but I'm telling you, if you spend gold frivolously on stuff like Hogwash, you will instantly run out of money. I am desperate for wins to turn the corner, but not desperate enough to buy a Hogwash just because it's better than aquatic seashells. Succulents are not a great item. If I found this at a silver tier yesterday, I probably would have picked it up, but bronze tier today, no thank you. I'm going to roll this though. There's some big hits here. That's awkward. This would be a not awful defensive item. In terms of stash types, I have property, weapon, toy, tool. So I have 4 types right now. This would be 75 heal and shield, which is not a small amount, but it's 8 gold. That's the problem. Again, this makes my board stronger right now. This is way more tolerable than buying a hogwash, but it doesn't make my board good. It doesn't make me likely to win on the day. It's not going to be part of a late game board that wins. This is a way to make myself stronger that might impact the monster fight I'm about to have, but beyond that, it's not doing anything. I need to get more value out of my gold than that. Even though I've taken the economy start, I still don't want to take that. Here we have extract for plus poison. Don't care about that in our current situation. Upgrade a bronze item, which would be hot stones, certainly, because the additional 2 burn would be helpful, but still not enough. And if you don't know what an upgrade does, you come over to howbazaar.gg and it will tell you 2 burn, 2 regen. It makes the hot stones notably better. So I can get a meaningful upgrade on my hot stones here, but I really don't think that's going to be enough to beat a monster fight. And because B1, B2 is on the table, and if this were enough burn to kill to win our monster fight, I would be willing to go to B1, B2 over Barcoon here. So let's talk about how to calculate the damage this burn does. It would go up to 8 burn, and the way you calculate the total burn if it's not proliferating, if it's not stacking up and just dealing tons and tons of damage, if you just get 8 burn, and then it takes down 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then eventually you reapply it, how much damage is that? The way you calculate it is you add the absolute maximum and the minimum, you divide them by 2 to get the average, and then you multiply it by the number of ticks, which is just the maximum in this case, and you get 36 damage for an 8 burn item. You can also do it the much more roundabout way of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 and get the same result. It just takes longer, especially when you're dealing with larger burn values. But 36 damage every 6 seconds is probably not enough to win the monster fight. However, 5 regen might be. Additionally, we can rearrange our board to charge it with the Piggles. And Barcoon cannot sell me a matchbox. It's a little bit late to be hoping to dupe a matchbox, but I'm not even trying to dupe the matchbox necessarily. If I can just get a matchbox, I will be so much stronger on my day 3 fight. It will meaningfully affect my chance of winning. I would like to have the matchbox. So I'm going to go B1, B2 here, because I think using the Piggles to charge the hot stones to deal 36 damage roughly every 5 seconds, in addition to stacking the regen, is likely enough. We have a briefcase which helps keep this down, and the burn is going to be halved. If this were Scout Trooper, I would have some confidence. But against Aetherite, I'm not sure I win. And again, I'll come over to howbazaar.gg and show you what I'm talking about. I normally don't go this thoroughly. Scout Trooper is just a fight where he has a ton of weapons and he scales up. And if you have decent defenses, you can beat him. I would feel confident in the regen being the difference, allow me to win against Scout Trooper. But against Aetherite, 650 health's a lot to get through. I'm down 200 baseline. My defenses are not good. The force field just deals a lot of damage as it builds up the shield, and I'm not confident I deal with it quickly enough, right? Because the briefcase will handle most of the shield from the force field, but it won't handle the goggles at all. That'll mean all my burns getting halved. It doesn't proliferate. I'm dealing way less than 36 at that point. The regen's not going to be enough to win in fatigue, and I actually do not beat Scout Trooper. Now, Tempest Flame Dancer versus Frost Street Challenger. I didn't cover this yesterday. I should have. I forgot to. The rightmost enemy is the only one that gives more than 2 experience. You're going to see a progressive increase in rarity every day. The leftmost enemy will give the least gold in experience. The middle enemy will give more gold but the same experience as the leftmost enemy. And the rightmost enemy will give the most gold in experience, and how much depends exactly on the rarity of it. So I really wanted to fight Aetherite today. Right now you can see if I gain 3 experience for the next 3 hours plus 2 for fighting either of these guys, that's 5 experience. I do not level up. I really wanted to be able to kill my day 3 fight, and I cannot currently do that. And sadly, there's nothing to be done about that. So, looking at Frost Street Challenger versus Tempest Flame Dancer, well, I guess we can't really look at them there, so let's look at them here. Frost Street Challenger can drop weights. I am currently maybe going into a heal build that can scale this up. It can drop Snow Globe, which is a generically good item. The rest of its drops are just gold value to me and a whiff on a skill. Tempest Flame Dancer has 2 fiery cutlasses, which, like, theoretically, I might be scaling that with a Ganjo or an Apropos Chapeau to try to win in the next couple of days. Bars of gold are 5 gold each. Cinders can be very good. Sharpening Stone is useless. Again, random bad skill. And looking at the 2 of these, I think Bar of Gold means this is actually, on average, more gold than the other guy. And Fiery Cutlass is more likely to make it into a build and affect whether or not I win. So I am going to go for Tempest Flame Dancer here. and I feel confident I should beat either of them. My build's weak, but not that weak. This guy has notably less than 650 health, and between my regen and shielding values, I think I should just be fine. It is really, really unusual, even taking income start, to be this weak. I want to be clear about that. I said taking income start, you're just comfortable losing the first few days. Usually you don't suffer this badly. Almost always with income start, you're able to beat Rogue Scrapper, able to beat Aetherite. This is atrociously bad RNG, and I'm kind of glad about it, to be honest, because it means that it's going to be much more universally useful because nothing good is happening. And you can see Hot Stones have me up to 25 regen. This is why I was debating whether or not I actually stood a chance against Aetherite. It's because this is a lot of regen in Sandstorm. I think I would have lost by like 100 health. It would have been kind of close, but not close enough. And Bar of Gold is fine. If we get Bar of Gold, it's probably just the right fight to take. We have to go Kina here. Economic Seminar can be good, but it cannot give us anything that's going to win our day 3 fight. And we would like to start getting wins sooner rather than later. This is awful. Bandages do nothing. They're just like a small, fast, non-weapon item for a matchbox. Doubling their value doesn't do anything, so I don't really care about this at all. Looks like we have another adjacency crit piggle, which is not actually very useful for us, especially without a matchbox. We have the luxury, whatever that is, I will never know how to pronounce this. It is a bad item, so I haven't looked up how to pronounce it because I don't respect it. When you sell a property, gain 1 value, burn equal to this item's value. Well, its current value is going to be 2. There is an argument to trying to use this. The argument goes, if I put the rewards card on this, it is an 8-second burn 4 item, which will go through after the hot stones while there is still burn and matter, and then they will sync up at some points. It is theoretically stronger right now, and I have a lot of gold. I want to be clear, I don't like that item at all, but it increases my odds of winning the fight from a 0 to a something. Upgrading bandages doesn't really cost me much, and it's probably gonna go on my board fairly soon at the rate things are going. This might be wrong, I might be panicking, but I think it's worth upgrading it even though it does so little. And you never upgrade Fixer Upper the hard way, it's just not worth. The reason I would consider this is because I could sell my Fixer Upper right now to get value, and then sell another one for 3 gold, which is essentially a 3 gold center. I've never had a run with this item before. The issue is putting the rewards card on it indefinitely sounds very sketch, but I have nothing else going for me, and frankly, I don't even think Fixer Upper is that strong. When I see Fixer Upper builds, I tend to see like builds that are really strong because of Subscraper or really strong because of Ledger, not builds that are really strong because you got an early Fixer Upper. So I am torn between maximizing my win rate right now, because even though I can win on day 15 as Pig, it's such a lottery when you hit other crazy Pig builds, because you both scale in such monstrous ways it's hard to be confident you'll be stronger. There's a very real argument to taking this and pushing it. If I can get 2 gold from the next shop, plus 2 value from the shop, and then 2 value from selling 2 Fixer Uppers. It's a lot of money lost, it's a lot of long-term potential loss. I'm not willing to do it. I'm willing to give up like a little bit to push it with the rewards card, but I'm not giving up on my Fixer Upper. And then we roll, and as is fated with this run, we get stark nothing. We get a piggy bank that loses you money because it's a bronze, a robe that is too slow to scale our very few shield items, and a 3rd jewelry. It's been rough. It's not been good shops this run. And Ayla's here to offer us nothing again. Awesome. Oh, that's rough. We do go to Ayla just to get value here. It's very minor, but it's the best we've got. So, sure, Ayla, you give me 2 burn during my fights. Bring this back down. We do not level up for the fight. We would have taken any experience option. And again, I kind of skipped over the other options. I'm sorry. It's just, I am on tilt about the quality of the shops I've got. I've seen an Ayla every day when Ayla is by far the worst vendor in Pig. I have not been given the things I need to succeed, it feels like. I need to flip my board here because I want my burn skill on the faster item. So I think this is the best board. I have the crit piggle between my 2 burn items. I have the normal piggles charging the burn item and just something else. And then I have the marbles between my remaining items. The marbles are so minor and I am a burn build. I actually will switch them out, sell the medkit on the bird. This is the first day I have any chance of winning my fight, which is why I'm selling the medkit now. This is also an adjacency crit, so I don't care about it really. If I were leveling up, I'd be willing to drop something for Pygmalien Longbow, just like sell the bar of gold. It's not a big deal to potentially lose 1 value at Barcoon, who cares? It's just a minor optimization to keep that open. But I'm not leveling up, so there's no room for this. So the question is, do I think it's better than 2 defensive items? And frankly, not really. The question here is, do I roll? If I see like specifically Crook plus 2 medium items, I would panic and go Crook. If I see, I think, literally anything else, I am wasting 2 gold.
Bazaar
So
is
I'm
not
going to
kind
leave.
the weaponless.
I'm not going to, like, buy the Pygmalien and roll hoping I find Crook. Another 0-win pig. Well, you're glad to see that, at least. I'm confident this is my best board for all the reasons just said. Let's get into it.
I should warn you.
This build is, for the first time all game, capable of winning, but we're still very, very weak. He has 3 burn items, so we're probably dead. 7 burn matchbox, huh? Oh my. Yeah, you'll notice there's going to be a slight disparity in the quality of our burn builds here. I'm at 22 burn and he is at 10. It's just a lot worse, man. I have shield items, but it doesn't matter. There was no chance of winning this whatsoever. The moment we saw that he had cold room generating regen to my bad burn item, his cold room is faster because my board is fast. He has the matchbox, I don't. Like, his board's not great, but I wish that was me. I cannot find the pieces for any valuable build right now. Now, there's no bronze tier item I really care about here. This thing, when you upgrade it, only increases the value it gains when you sell a property, but we're not going to be selling properties. We're just going to be upgrading it the hard way. Which means I have no bronze item I care about, and that means we're going to pimp.
Next time.
We're never taking arbitrage. This is one of the worst skills in the game, especially if you're currently weak. We're never taking strength. We have no weapons. Shield plus 10 isn't nothing, but it's incredibly minor. I will gladly spend 2 gold to roll here. Shield 20 is a lot more. Heal 20 can be good if you have like a multicast heal item, but Healthy Hoarder is a lot of health, and we kind of need health to live long enough to do anything. It also makes our Grandmaster very good, because if we don't find a matchbox, we might rather do this to scale our health amount. Oh, it's the first mountain pass of the run. We have 4 regen, Kina, which is the shop we want, and mountain pass. Now, this is a really interesting decision point, because normally I utter the words C fight, click fight. And what I mean when I say this is that getting a fight is the most valuable thing you can do on pretty much any jump. If you just didn't even look at the other 2 options and you instantly clicked Mountain Pass, Deadly Duel, whatever the other fight events are, you'd probably make the right decision 99 out of 100 times. Experience is that valuable, the gold you get is that valuable, fights are insanely valuable. Even at Mountain Pass, where it's not guaranteed, your 2 options that miss are a 1 experience event, which isn't even that bad, and free gold, which is obviously not great because it's going to be a small amount of gold, but it's something. Mountain Pass is incredible. I don't need it for income, even though I still have the full duration of the run left. I cannot get a better 2 income than this. I just have enough gold. I don't care about that.
Let's go.
Mountain Pass will give you a day 4 or 5 fight. It can give you your current day plus 1. Here's the thing. I'm horribly weak. I'm not confident I win the fight when I click on Mountain Pass. I am actually going to go to Kina here to both buff up my only burn scaling item and to try to find something to win late with. Right now, for winning late, it's not with Pig's Gem. We have the Fixer Upper. That's the route we win late with. It's more reliable than a Pig's Gem. Cash Register is all right at silver. I would rather have it than not. I will toss these and pick up a Cash Register. I guess I didn't need to make the room because I have space on my board currently. So that's a mistake. But it's not a major mistake. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to actually buy this safe, because I'm trying to get Fixer Upper to start turning online early, because I might have to use it early. I need to sell the safe now, even though it's not like very helpful, because I will otherwise run out of space down the line. I'm gonna get this Steam Ladle as well. It's just another burn item trying to help proliferate, but we're still not in a good spot. Hey, it's Ayla again. So first up, relax. You never click this in the first 2 hours of a day. Ideally, you would only click it on the last hour of a day, because if you click it here, well, let's start with why you don't click in the first 2 hours of the day. It's going to get used on the NPC fight, right? You do not need bonus shield to beat monster fights, and if you do, it's probably not going to be enough to get you to the monster fight anyway. And then if you click it here, you might get a fight on your last hour, so that would also suck. But if it's past the monster fight and this meaningfully affects your chance of winning, you are willing to click this a lot of the time. I'm not past the monster fight, so it's a non-option. Ayla's the worst possible store. I'm going to go to Aerodrome. I'm going to roll. I'm going to find a different store to scale up this thing.
Look, I need a business partner who's as motivated.
Okay, so middle is really bad. I don't like spending the gold to roll here, but middle is a very bad shop post DLC. There's really not a hit on middle either. They're all bad. B1, B2 is plus 5 gold, which is nice. It's really plus 7 gold because I'm spending 2 gold to roll off of it. But I don't care. I need a shop. Thank you, Andy. Oh my god, it's Matchbox. The run is alive. Alright, let's start sorting it out then. I'll sell the spare change. That's because I might find an upgrade to use on Bar of Gold. Spare change is less valuable. I'm going to take this Matchbox. I'm going to upgrade the Piggles. And I am going to roll to see what's on the next page. We don't care about Halati. We're not a weapon build. Alright, this is actually interesting. There are 2 items here we care about quite a lot. Business card. When you visit a merchant, this gains 1 value, so eventually it just generates money. Doesn't even take that long. And then for every 5 merchants you visit, upgrade this, which gives it a higher value scaling rate. And much down the line, when you start seeing the Bazaar Con event, the business card unlocks an additional option there where instead of getting 2 experience, you get 3. So this is generating experience as well as money eventually. Crystal Bonsai is a really good economy item. If you're going into a monster fight and you know you're going to win it, then Crystal Bonsai essentially just generates 6 gold by being in that fight. And you hold this as long as you possibly can. I want to buy both of these. And that's a little bit awkward for me. Because I have 1, 6, 7 gold I can liquidate. That's actually just enough. Wait, no, I don't want to sell marbles. I got my Matchbox. Let's figure out what our board looks like, right? The matches are obviously all the way to the right. The Piggles are going to charge my Hot Stones because that's just the best burn item. And then after that, I guess Steam Ladle is good. It's a burn item. Charging that's good. Despite the fact I've been scaling value on this, I think it's dead to me now. It's just not very fast for getting the Matchbox going quicker. It is 8 burn, but it is a 2-slot item. And I could be having so many more, so much faster items, right? I put my 2 adjacency crit Piggles here to scale the Matchbox and the Hot Stones. They're also both just 4-speed items, charging the Matchbox very quickly. Because the whole idea behind a Matchbox build is you just have a bunch of small, fast things, or a bunch of things that are small but deal burn, and you start stacking burn very quickly. This is the strongest thing Pig can do in the early and mid game, and it makes me feel so much safer now that I found this. Getting that off my Aerodrome was better than I could have hoped for, but eventually the RNG has to turn around, right? Additionally, having the 10 small item non-weapon board gives me 350 health off of Healthy Hoarder. Now I want marbles next to the accelerated Steam Ladle and a 5-speed item. And I think this is how the board gets arranged. We were looking at buying Crystal Bonsai and this. I no longer want the luxury item. So we're going to pick up both of them with what turned out to have been gold stacking for the future. I hadn't realized this when I was doing it, but another upside of stacking that luxury charcoal pit is that rewards card isn't just generating burn on an item that I might have to use in my fights very soon, but it was also generating gold on an item that I was able to sell. I don't really get to liquidate a fixer-upper, right? I'm going to have to keep this here forever unless I find something crazy. So that was good. And for our fight, we just drop an item. It doesn't really matter which one for the Crystal Bonsai in every single NPC fight we have for the rest of the run, because that's going to generate a ton of gold over the run. Oh, inventory organization. This isn't important, but I will mention it. I generally like to have anything I care about on the right side of my inventory, so that stuff I don't care about that spawns in on the left is stuff I can sell immediately. And that's because the new items that I probably don't care about come in on the left side. In this case, there's not really that much organization because every slot is filled, because unfortunately that's often what optimization looks like, is your inventory is just a train wreck. Now, our build is so much stronger after that shop. There was no chance I was clicking Prince Marianus, formerly known as Hydro Dude, before I got this Matchbox, and now it is just an easy, clear victory. I don't know of a way to explain this to you other than you need to build up experience to understand how strong certain items are, but you'll see that this Matchbox deals an ungodly amount of burn over the course of this fight. And previously, I haven't been clicking recap. There was nothing to recap. My board was bad, my items were bad, there's no reason to click recap. Nobody did anything, I don't need to check it out to see. But you'll see we're up to 50 burn, it stacks very quickly, does a ton of damage. This isn't even a particularly insane Matchbox board, and we crush the diamond fight in under 20 seconds.
The wrath of the Deep Dynasty.
While scaling our economy, no less. We get a Chum Bucket, and that is a reason to sell these, because Chum Bucket needs a second item slot to generate that Piranha. 4 gold, chocolate bars I don't have room for, or Andy. Happily go Andy here. It's a little bit awkward. I never found an upgrade hammer event to dupe the Matchbox with, but you don't need to worry about that. Oh, I should have sold an item for better pickles. That was an explicit mistake. I am going to upgrade the pickles, though. It is a very, very good item. And I'm going to roll. And I will gladly upgrade Steam Ladle here. Steam Ladle isn't getting anything from this upgrade right now. All it does when you upgrade it is gain burn scaling when you freeze stuff. And we don't freeze currently. But Cold Room is an incredible item that I'm very happy to pick up. There are ways I can gain freeze items. If you find yourself with like a gold Cold Room on a Steam Ladle board, the Steam Ladle can actually start to outscale and outburn the Matchbox. It is a very good item at higher tiers. And as always, these small one-slot weapons that are sabotaging the enchanted item starter are also sabotaging this Andy shop. We get our silver tier skill here. We will never have 5 or fewer items until the very end of the run, potentially, because of this fixer-upper. So that's not relevant to us. We don't care about 1 income, that's very minor. And your crit scale shield items is also nothing, so I will roll here. I don't have the money for it, so I will make the money for it. And those are also all just abject garbage. Again, 5 or fewer items, but for weapon scaling. Your weapons cooldowns, what weapons, and while your enemy has more health than you, your shield items have their cooldowns reduced by 5%. And yeah, all of those are just horrible. In fact, they're so bad that I'm going to skip them. Because reducing the cooldown on these 2 items, I'm never going to have good shield items unless I randomly get a shield enchant on like the Matchbox. So we're going to talk about Grandmaster here. Grandmaster is a vendor you can find. He's an hour event where he sells you 2 skills at random from the skills you currently have. So if you're offered skills that do literally nothing or next to nothing for your build, it is often better to skip them. That way, you are more likely when you see Grandmaster to upgrade the skills that you really care about. So that Argenta just robbed me. I just get nothing from it. And something I'm realizing is with the cash register, I'm going to fail to generate a Piggle if I win today's fights, which is unfortunate. But there is nothing I can do about it, so oh well. Now, 2 income's great. I've got 11 income already. Economic Seminar is normally good, but I don't have 4 gold to put into it. So my options are a little bit strange here. I can get 2 gold value scaling on my fixer-upper by going to a store I can't do anything at, or I can get 2 income that I probably don't need. Getting 1 random economic item or skill is not very good. I am going to gain 2 income here. I'm normally not looking to do this, but being completely broke right now, I don't really have a better play. Oh, and the reason we just sold that fish or Chum Bucket, whichever it was to make room for cash register at the start of the day. A 0-win Vanessa, you don't see that every day. And double checking my board, it looks like this is all correct. And theoretically, I could have put the Crystal Bonsai on my board. I got so much stronger today, I'm confident that I win today. And my opponent is 0 wins, but I'm not confident enough to put it on my board. I'm not willing to risk that amount of gold income. Looks like he has starting Shielded Crab. He doesn't have great slows, but he has some, or sorry, Shielded Shrimp. And then he's going to try to finish me off with a depth charge, but it's a base value here. The shield value was pretty massive, but I think we still win this. Like, I have some region from Hot Stones counteracting a bit of the poison. I think he burns down here. What reloaded his shrimp? Oh, it's just ammo bug. In case you're ever wondering while watching a playback, the ammo is just bugged in the display and will often show full ammo even when it's not. And yeah, we win. You'll notice he's dead with shield value. If you shield at the same time something kills you, you just die. Healing does not work that way. It is slightly inconsistent. And it looks like I did just lose 6 value by not playing Crystal Bonsai, but it's the right call not to do it. Don't be results oriented. Keep that shit in your stash. Do not put it in PvP fights. So gold tier items on Goldie is interesting. Finn's is objectively good. It's 5% max health, and I have something increasing my max health. Your items gain 3% crit chance for the fight. I mean, you can't say no to that. It's just better and doesn't have positioning requirements. So I like the idea of getting a little bit of health, a little bit of regen here. But Goldie selling gold tier items can be very, very good. The issue is a 6 gold reroll is very expensive, and I don't have all that much gold to liquidate. So even though Goldie does have big hits, I'm going to take the guaranteed value here. Plus 20 healing, not really important to me. My healing items are just here because they're fast items. Plus 10 shield. Again, I don't even want the shield items I have. So we go 5 regen. It's starting to fall off. Regen's better in the early days when like 5 regen is a really relevant number. Because out of 250 health, 5 health a second's crazy. Out of 5,000 health, 5 health a second doesn't really matter. But it's still the best option I have here. We have a B1, B2, and a Sylvia. I'm going to go Sylvia. There are some silver items I really want, specifically Ledger would be incredible. And I'm blocking out a decent number of items with like gold and bronze tier items. Shops cannot stock things at a different tier than what you have them at. So she cannot stock my bronze items or my gold items. And any silver item, I'm just happy to upgrade. So I will go here over B1, B2. And I'm looking to get robbed, apparently. Yeah. Damn shame. I would have much rather upgrade my marbles than throw away 4 gold, but I think it was worth going there. I do not know that I beat Scoville. Scoville is a very tough enemy. He's not as bad as some of the burn enemies, but I don't really have very good shield. I have 1200 health. Scoville is the hardest day 5 fight to be sure. He has fire, he has an item drop, which I would like a lot. He has cinders, he has black pepper, those are all very good. The issue is because his board is a bunch of multicast burn items, he scales up pickled peppers rather tremendously and they burn for like a lot when they go off. So I need to deal 1400 health pretty quickly, and I think I just deal less burn than he does is the problem. Shielding halves all damage from burn, so I'm sort of considering if just piggling my shield items might be enough to win. My burn output's good, but I don't think it's crazy at all. Like a 7 burn matchbox with this many small items is alright. It's not insane. But it's plus 2 experience, right? It's plus 2 experience, plus 2 gold. Every item drop he has is either good gold or insane for my board. And I'm gambling on, not 8 gold, but 14 gold. Because if I win, this goes to 14. If I lose, it gets destroyed. So this is a thing where I really wish I were more easily able to evaluate that fight. The fixer-upper isn't really relevant. It's 3 item slots. I'm losing so much burn that the shield value isn't helpful. Regardless of what I do, I need to sell a Spirit Change before the fight so I have room for a pickle. It's so frustrating. I'm so close to being able to beat him. If I had just found like more cinders, more burn skills, a cold room, there are so many items I could have found. If I had duct tape from that starting banana bull fight, I wouldn't even be scared. I would just be like, oh yeah, we kill him 100% of the time. It's not a problem. But with only a 7 burn matchbox, I don't know that I do it. I'm gonna go fight Kyber Commander. I don't think I beat Scoville. I want to beat him very badly, but I don't think I do. And it's really sad, because I can come to Kyber Commander and it does nothing. We're gonna see what this is at when it goes off. If he burns to death, like within a second of the Junkyard Lance going off, then I should have fought Scoville. But no, we would have lost 100%. He's only at 50 burn when that goes off, and I guarantee you I would have been at like 100 burn. My shield value matters, but I don't think it matters enough to win when I'm down that much. Scoville had another 500 health. I think I would have lost. Another gold crit chance Piggle that doesn't care about positioning. Sign me up. I guess it doesn't matter that I'm selling the Piggle to get the Busy Bee because they're both worth 0 gold and do nothing. And for our next stop, we have get a weapon, gumballs, or heal and regen items. It's got to be heal and regen. Those 2 items are very small value, and there's some big hits at heal and regen. Restorative Grindstone is not it. Neither is Bushel. I don't have fast shields. Bronze Succulents is so far past its prime. We're really looking for Cold Room here above all else, and we hit it. At level 7, you get a guaranteed upgrade to Gold tier. Cold Room's kind of weak at Silver. It's incredible at Gold. Well, not incredible. It's good at Gold. It's incredible at Diamond. It just scales very, very well with tier because it freezes multiple items, which is then exponentially scaling any freeze scaling, such as its own regen and the Steam Ladle. So I'm buying that for sure, which is a small board space problem. We want to keep the bird for sure. I don't really care about the bandages or the seashell. So I would probably be doing this to get Cold Room in play. And that gives me multicast on the bird as well. And it looks like I'll be tossing both of these for 0 at the end of the day to make room for one of my coins again. It's a little bit rough, but oh well. And there's just no value in ointment here at all. Same with bronze textiles. For our level up rewards, we're offered silver tier item, 2 gold and silver tier loot, which is better, or plus 2 income. If I sell this for 14 gold, I go up to 22, which is not enough for the additional income. Well, I'm going to take 2 income anyway. I still think it's better. We have a abandoned crate on the last hour of day 5. It's very tilting for the last hour of day 5 to be my first lost crate of a run, but it's not like I've seen a second matchbox anyway. I'm going to explain item duping here because it's an important part of playing Pygmalien is to open this option. I was never given it and I can't do it now, but I will explain it for educational value. If you have an item, stores cannot sell that item at a different tier, and the reason is because they can't combine, right? It only combines 2 bronze matchboxes into a silver. If you had a silver matchbox and tried to buy a bronze one, you would just get a bronze matchbox. But you can make that happen. You can go to a store with a bronze matchbox, and if you had the upgrade hammer Lost Crate gives you, then what you could do is you could wait until you found a store with another bronze matchbox in it, then use the upgrade hammer to change this to silver, and then buy the second bronze matchbox, theoretically from an Andy, right? And that would give you a second matchbox. And these items charge off of each other, so they're incredibly powerful. There are a handful of massive power spike items where duping them is super important to how powerful your run can be. Matchbox and power drill are like #1 on the list. And if I had seen Lost Crate any time before day 4, I'd have pretty much automatically taken it. Here's the thing. Bronze items are already getting rare. As of day 6, you might see like 1 or 2 bronze items the whole day, and you will never see bronze items after day 6. It is too late to dupe anything. I can still justify taking this just to upgrade the matchbox, but I can also go to Andy to try and upgrade the matchbox and the marbles and the bird. And just like, it's not clear to me that either is better than the other. I'm going to go and take the upgrade hammer rather than go to Andy. And the reason for this is pretty straightforward. +1 burn affects my chance of winning the fight today. I'm probably not going to upgrade that matchbox if I go to Andy, so I'm just going to upgrade it right now immediately. And I think 2 gold is worth, I don't even think, I know. 2 gold is worth less than Crystal Bonsai in the PvE fight, so I'm not going to sell that to make room for the spare change. Another 0-win Vanessa. Weird day. Have I fought like exclusively 0-win opponents? I mean, shit, I've been one myself, glass houses and all that, but still. He has flashy reload and inexorable. This dude's build is going to be terrifying on day 10. But right now he appears to have a, frankly, pretty random set of items. His build's just like a dive weights and a seaweed and a bunch of aquatic trash, so he should die. The regen from hot stones and cold room should easily keep me going, and you'll notice that this thing is starting to deal a lot more burn now. Now that we have cold room to scale up that value, the steam ladle is probably actually dealing more burn than the matchbox. And we'll check recap to see that, but I can already tell you, we weren't dealing anywhere near 300 burn in the previous fight. This is like 60% steam ladle now that we have found the cold room. And if we go over to recap and check it out, 152 here, 198 there. I actually slightly overestimated how much the steam ladle was doing, but it still definitely was tremendous. And let's head to the next day and see what our Pyggle was. We have item Bazaar Kina, and our Pyggle was a weapon Pyggle. Damn shame. Be sure to put this back in before any potential fights. Now, Bazaar Kina's a good shop. Everything I'm using is sold at Kina. However, something I live by is see fight, click fight. And a fight is just Bazaar with extra steps. Bazaar always has +2 experience. It's incredible. If you see Bazaar you probably click Bazaar However, it also has gain 3 XP if you have a business card, which is even better. And most fights are not giving 3 XP, so that's better than a fight in that regard. Again, Quixel selling my entire board. Obviously a good shop. Gain 1 XP, nowhere near as good as potentially gaining 2 to 5 experience and a ton of gold. I often say see fight, click fight. It is tremendously important to push your experience values. For now, take that for granted. I'll talk about why as it starts to matter later in the run. But see fight, click fight, it's not fair. While we take this fight, we'll talk about why it's important, right? I need to make room, I need to sell something so I can actually get a Pyggle out of this. The reason see fight, click fight is incredibly important is because getting ahead of experience curve gives you a massive advantage. Going into like day 12, if you're 3 levels up on somebody, that's gonna be over 1,000 health difference. It is a massive edge. Additionally, it's gonna be multiple skills, multiple extra pieces of gold, multiple extra pieces of loot. These things add up to a lot of value, and there are certain breakpoints that are tremendously important, namely levels 10 and 13. 13 is a free upgrade to Diamond, 10 is your first guaranteed enchantment. Ideally, you always want to hit level 10 on day 8, and sometimes you can actually do 10 on 7. That's very rare. But if you can get that level lead, it is tremendously valuable. As I said a second ago, we are so happy to have this before level 7 because upgrading this to gold doubles its effect, and Steam Ladle is already outperforming the Matchbox, so it's going to be absolutely incredible. And I need to sell something again to make room for my Piggle. Here, there is nothing at Inklet or Foreman we care about, and Lone Shark is then the correct fight because he is the furthest right, the most gold, the most experience, and he can give us an ATM. It's not literally nothing, but his skills do nothing for us. We have no weapons, crashing waves, we have no aquatics, we don't want any of these weapons, we don't want Cash Cannon even. Cash Cannon can be a very strong item in Pig. There are builds entirely built around this, usually in conjunction with Ledger to generate money. But it has no use for us. We're committed to the Matchbox Cold Room Steam Ladle route, and if that fails to get us out of the run, if we can't scale this up enough, we'll end up going into a adjacent items gain 6% crit. Is there an item worse than this? Honestly, the marbles aren't great, but neither is the bird, but they're both scaling the Matchbox. It's tough. I would like to have better marbles. So I said a second ago, you don't really find bronze items after day 6. The reason I'm selling this isn't because it's actually my weakest item. It's because it's never going to be great unless I upgrade it, and I can't upgrade it. So I want to unlock it later on, and it's about the same as these Piggles are right now. Oh, right. We need to make 2 slots so that we can actually hold that shark. We have Small Weapon and Docks, which are both just economy events against economic items. There are some crazy economic items. We're very happy to come here. We also haven't been doing a great job in the background of scaling this fixer-upper at all. It's only at 26 value. Toss the shark ray, we need the room. VIP pass is interesting. If we want to start trying to transition to fixer-upper, we probably want to buy this. We always buy, sell ATM. There's enough game left that spending 4 gold to get +2 income will always be the correct decision. It's only at gold and higher where you really have to do math about whether or not it's right, and usually it's wrong to buy at gold or higher. But at silver and lower, ATMs are pretty much always good to buy sell. And I think I do buy this VIP pass. I'm going to roll here anyway. Buying VIP pass, if I hit Ledger, gives me a strong incentive to actually start trying to switch over to a fixer-upper build, because that is a ton of economy scaling. If I miss, it's still plus gold down the line. That is a shame. No Ledger at day 6 is a little bit rough. Ledger is the strongest economy generation item in the game. Maybe I should have taken Gumball Machine. Oh shit. That's just a new patch that I'm not used to. Gumball Machine now gives enchants to its gumballs. So if you have a Gumball Machine and you enchant it with Fiery, it starts giving gumballs that give +2 burn. Which, on a Matchbox build, you can see how that might be broken. Anyway, back on track. Spare change is 3 gold, and I don't have room for all of it. Chocolate bars, again, don't have room for it. So I'm going to go Curio here. It scales up the fixer-upper. It can give me Salamander Pup, which is a massive amount of burn. This first page is pretty weak. Do I want to try to use the VIP pass? I think I'm going to sell the cash register. It's been unfortunate that I've been trying to scale this fixer-upper because it's really made me have no space for the cash register. And I think I'm going to get way more money out of the VIP pass. So I'm going to do that. And that gives me the room to buy Clockwork Blade and roll. No Salamander Pup, sad times. Oh, and if you're wondering how I knew that before they flipped, as they're flipping, you can see the color of the icons. There was no burn icon, which is why I knew it. It is a lot of cooldown reduction, though. You cannot get more cooldown reduction than this. So that is, in a way, the best possible Curio that can't have a Salamander Pup. And I am trying to get my Matchbox down to 3.6 seconds. Let's talk about internal cooldown and why specific breakpoints matter. Matchbox has the text when you use a non-weapon item charge this 1 second, but that's not actually what happens. It's not instantaneous. These effects, basically every effect in the game, can only go off every 0.2 seconds. What that means is that it takes 0.6 seconds for Matchbox to be charged 3 seconds by other items getting used. So, right now at 3.8 seconds, it's going to go off when the 4th item gets used. It's not actually going to be going off on 3 item uses. If I get it down to 3.6 or under, 3 item uses trigger it. At 3.7 or above, 4 item uses trigger it. So that breakpoint of 3.6 on the Matchbox is actually a meaningful amount of additional burn output due to the internal cooldown. I think it's probably worth just to flip the truffles.
Been sitting there 20 years.
Like, it's not great, but it's fine. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me that my hot stones are the ones getting the adjacent crit chance without the steam ladle. That's very wrong. And none of the rest of this really matters to me. So I'm going to head out. And I actually think we're quite strong for day 6. Matchbox at 8 burn's not incredible, but it's fine. Steam ladle with gold cold room on day 6 is a tremendous amount of burn. Our defenses are not great, unfortunately. There's nothing to be done about that. But we do have a very fast board, a lot of crit scaling, and if our opponent is a matchbox build, cold room is very, very good in the mirror, because the faster your enemy board is, the faster cold room goes off. So even though my board's not incredible, this guy's also on 2 wins, and I feel well poised against most pig builds. If it's a crook build, it has to be a crazy high roll to kill me at this point. What are we looking at here? Sunlight Spear. How's new Sunlight Spear work again? Gain 2 regen, burn equal to your regen. Does he know that it's been I think this guy's new to pig. I don't know how to analyze this board. He has double whammy, but not really any health stacking. He has boomerang in the PvP fight. He has Sunlight Spear with no regen generation. He has matchbox with 7 item slots of weapons and a truffles on board. I'm very confused. Anyway, we beat these. That one we're fine against. I've never been more confused by a board in my entire life. I'm gonna be real with you. Alright, for our level up, we have heal and regen skills. You do not want these. Occasionally, as Pig, you will have a build where it's right to click this because you are looking for specifically endurance when you use a weapon, gain 10, 20, or 30 heal on all your shit. But we are not using weapons or relying on heal cards. We are not using weapons, so Ryu cons right out, and that means we're going Orlin for gold skills. Leftmost burn is a lot of additional burn. However, the matchbox needs to be rightmost for the +3 burn, which means nothing crazy fast will ever be on our left spot. We don't have any shield items to care about makeshift plate with, and we don't have any weapons to charge with the mixed messages, which makes it a pretty straightforward roll. We have golden arbitrage, which again, arbitrage is just terrible. Big numbers with no large items, and your weapons have plus damage equal to double your income with no weapons. It's been rough skill ventures in this run, man. It's not been good. I think the bird is genuinely so minor that I would rather get... the bird's faster, though. I think the 4th crit piggle is worse than the slightly faster bird. I'm going to take big numbers here. My Grandmaster is still going to be guaranteed 1 hit on the Matchbox build, and this is good down the line with the Fixer-Upper. But I was kind of hoping for a skill that did something on my current board, because we haven't gotten a Ledger, we haven't gotten scaled up enough to reliably go Fixer-Upper yet. Here, we don't ever take hours 1 and 2 shield. Chocolate bars without the room for them, and I have tons of money, sounds pretty weak. We're going to Kina. There are a lot of items we can find that make going into Fixer-Upper more viable, or finishing the run with this more viable. So let's see if Kina can give us some direction.
Deals, not war.
She can also give us abject garbage. We don't want any of these. Not going to cover why every item specifically is bad, but all of these are too. So that was a quick and easy waste of 2 gold.
Comes from a negative place.
Next up, we have 8 regen, which is fine. Docs, which is economy we don't need, and middle. Middle is usually pretty bad with the DLC enabled. However, I do have a gold cold room, which getting to diamond like 5 levels early would be kind of crazy. I also would really like to get a ledger for my Fixer-Upper. I do think you go middle here.
If I don't have what you need,
There are 2 very massive hits. Balcony is very awkward because I don't have the room to float a balcony. I just don't. Like, I see balcony spiky shield here. I understand it's an option, but this thing has 33 value. It's shielding for 99. It doesn't do anything yet. It's not going to do anything for like 2 more days, assuming I get a ledger. And if I don't get a ledger, I'm going to have to sell this and try to win on Matchbox, right? This does not justify going into it right now. And those aren't even the best items to go into it with. You want to go into it with a Subscraper, not with a spiky shield. So even though these are good with Fixer-Upper, I'm just nowhere near enabling a Fixer-Upper. Maybe I'm closer than I think I am because of the VIP pass. When this thing goes to diamond, it gains 12 value going to 45. Then it shields equal to 4 times that value, so it's a 200 shield Fixer-Upper, goes up to 400 with balcony. So I don't have to use Spiky Shield either. I can run like Balcony, Fixer Upper, Cold Room, Ladle, and 2 other items, and just try to kill with Cold Room while stalling. It's very hard to imagine winning on day 14 without going Fixer Upper. So coming back to frame of mind, right? I want to go 10 wins. We're looking on how to do that. It's why we've been scaling this Fixer Upper in the background and the stash the whole run. And this has been really good in the mid game. If you get a great Matchbox build, especially on a good win rate, you can very comfortably go 10 wins with Matchbox. But I have 1 bronze burn skill. I don't have a great Matchbox build. This thing has received no cinders, no flat burn values, no artisan dunes, no salamander pups, nothing. It hasn't been duped. It's not got access to haste to make it faster. It doesn't have like a fiber optics to charge something. I don't have any of the things that send Matchbox to the moon. I think I have to buy this Balcony. But I don't think I have to buy Spiky Shield. I think that is a bridge too far. And if I look at how my board gets set up right now, trying to use this, right? I think I would be doing this, where I'm playing just trying to kill with Steam Ladle while stalling with Fixer Upper. I think that's good. Eventually, I'll be selling the Cold Room, so increasing value on this is good. For PvE fights, obviously, I use the Bird. All of my Piggles would be out. The Matchbox would be out. The Cold Stones would be out. And I'm okay with this. I think this is actually a better build. This is a ton of defenses that I didn't previously have. A ton of value scaling for the future. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to give up on Matchboxes now. It took me a while to come to peace with it, but the Balcony is the play. I don't think Spiky Shield is. Ah, yes, the other Balcony. I don't think there's any way I would ever care about Phonograph. It is a very good item, but if I already have a Balcony and a Fixer Upper build, what are we talking about? Especially when my value is so low that I need the Balcony. But I am happy with that middle, giving me the Balcony, giving me what I need to transition. I should kill Radiant Corsair 100% of the time. He is a max health hitting enemy, so if you have a good amount of shield, which we do, you just easily shield through the anchor and the shield halves all of his burn. We have a lot of burn stacking here, so that's very good. Ghost Pepper, however, would kill the shit out of me. Just a real quick heads up if you're watching this and don't know if you can beat Ghost Pepper, you can't beat Ghost Pepper. He is second only to Lich in terms of enemies that are wildly overpowered. I need to make at least 1 inventory slot, and I think my least useful Piggle is probably the second adjacency Piggle. And let's go bully Radiant Corsair. The crit chance should only be 25, yeah. But Radiant Corsair has a chance at Fiery Rebirth. That's obviously insane. The rest of these are all gold items, so it's a ton of income. Flame Dancer is just trash. Your burn items have plus 4% crit. Who cares? That's so incredibly minor. The big thing about Radiant Corsair, though, is being a legendary enemy, he gives 6 gold and 5 experience when you kill him. And as you can see, we just have way more than enough shield to tank through the anchor. It's not a problem, and this thing is scaling rather rapidly. It's not incredible because my opponent's board is so slow that Cold Room just doesn't actually freeze that much. And I'm wondering if I've misevaluated the fight. I think I haven't. I think I'm still good because burn is something that just scales more and more as time progresses. But it's a lot closer than I wanted it to be. If the second anchor hit crits, I think I still win. We're fine. Something did crit, but I don't think it was the anchor. It might have been the anchor. It was the anchor, actually, yeah. Because nothing else could crit for enough. But we do beat him, even though I have misevaluated my build, because Cold Room is so much worse against a build as slow as his. But we still win. Why is it only ever crit Piggles? What is this? I guess I would rather use this in the PvP fight than the bird. I'm not sure. Because, like, that's a lot of crit scaling, and the bird doesn't really do anything, right? I think that is the case. Oh, right, I need to make room. Sorry, bird, you're officially dead to me. We pick up the grappling hook, and we go on our way. Plus 2 gold's not quite it, so we're going to sell the grappling hook immediately and pick up the loot item for the first time all run. Usually you grab that before this point in the run, but it's just been weird that we haven't had a better option, or that we've always had better options, rather. And Gland is good. It's not incredible, but it's fine. The Cult is just always a mistake. There's very rarely a reason to go here. It's basically just you come here to get a random item, which I can already do. Kina can upgrade my Cold Room, and I would really appreciate that. Not Kina, Perma, wrong vendor, but still.
I love everyone.
Sadly, no value in those things for me, and no Cold Room, so I'll be on my way. I forgot to move my rewards card. Oh, egg on my face. I'm too focused on over-explaining every little detail and forgetting minor but important things like positioning for that. Tool, gumballs, or just tool again, huh? Thought I misread something. All of these do very little for me. I'm going to go tools here just so I can get the rewards card value. None of them are important.
Well, that's up to you.
Going to sell this now because I'm going to get a Piggle if I win the fights. I don't have a reason to sell these yet. Like, it's weird that I'm not selling them. I appreciate this. But if I don't see Raccoon, I just don't have a reason to sell this garbage because I'm not doing anything other than generating one Piggle. This is the left Piggle. Is there a reason to buy a globe? There's a lot of game left. I can buy a globe. I have a ton of gold. I'm willing to just, like, lose 4 gold for 100 health if I have to sell it immediately.
Hey, I use that brand myself. Quality stuff.
And I will sell my last Piggle here because that is a reason to care.
Bucket saved my
That is
life
plus 2
once.
value on the fixer upper.
You just never know.
And I'll hold that. I have no reason not to. I don't know that we're strong. It really depends on my opponent's build, whether or not we're strong. They are a 0-win Vanessa. How are there so many of these right now? Was there like a big advertising push and like just now everyone signed up for the game? I've seen so many bronze 0-win Vanessas in the past hour. Very strange. He seems to get the idea though. He has a crow's nest, a haste, a seaweed to scale, and a fairly fast toxic submarine, which might just kill me because it halves all of my burn and the poison's pretty substantial. I do generate a lot of regen, but like notably less than he does. However, Cold Room's very good against 3 items. It's unclear. I think I win because I'm going to reach 100% crit chance, but I don't know if that's correct. Just like the scaling burn values are insane. Yeah, he dies. At least in small part, I'm alive because of Cold Room regen, though. It has generated a lot of health over the course of this.
Defeat does
Got him.
not defeat me.
We need to stop matching into people with very few items. It makes my Cold Room build very, very, sketch. But every point of value scaling is great. The fact we're getting wins with a not rewards card, a VIP pass on the board is very good. We need to rearrange our board or disconnect, one of the two. So like I was saying, I need to position my board correctly for the rewards card. And here we have 3 spare change when I have no stash space and 30 gold, chocolate bars when I have no stash space, or a goalie who can upgrade all of my most important items. He can also waste my time with trash. I mean, Lemonade Stand is not trash, I will admit, but these items have no bearing on my current build or any in-game options. The loop generates money. It does. Abacus is also just inherently good. I'm going to toss the bad Piggle I just got, pick up the loop, and I'm just tired of dealing with the inventory problem. Like, there's just so much shit in my inventory that I do not care about. So I'm going to toss... the Piggles are generating money now. I can only toss 2. But the loop helps a little bit. And Abacus. Shield equal to the value of adjacent items. Oh, no. I think I have to buy this. Stash space is for chumps anyway. The issue is that now it very genuinely affects whether or not I should, like, cut VIP pass in my combat encounter. Because it's greedy to run it in my PvP fight, but it's also, like, you know, free value. How could you not? Anyway, there were way better goldies to hit there. I'm kind of underwhelmed. Here, heal item's not a big deal. I don't think I need a temp boost to win, and I don't think temp boost is particularly likely to be the difference anyway, so it's an easy Kina to keep trying to upgrade our board. God damn it! Why is it not next to the rewards card? Oh, the overexplained thing is really messing with my ability to perform the micro of moving your stuff around. It's fine. It's not a huge deal, but it does hurt. You know what? I'll take it. That makes up for all the little mistakes. That's fantastic. Now, the problem here is, what do I sell? Because I can't afford it right now. I can get 3 plus 1 is 15. I guess that's going to be the end of me stacking gold on this crystal bonsai. Goodbye, sweet prince. But it made quite a lot of gold for a silver item that cost me 4, right? Getting the Cold Ring to Diamond is freeze 3, gain 9 regen for each freeze, and gain 6 burn on the Steam Ladle for each freeze, which is eventually going to be crit scale to the moon. It's a very good upgrade. I was planning on using a level 10 guaranteed upgrade on this, and now that it's freed up, I'm not really sure where it goes. Probably the Abacus. But if we can find a subscraper before then, it would be a very easy subscraper. Here, I don't need anything to go into my board. It's all sorted already. Joyful Jack, Oasis Guardian, and Burning Airbot. Of the lot, none of them have anything for me, so we just go rightmost. I get no value from Slow Burn, no value from any of this, so it's all just varying degrees of gold, the biggest miss being the skill and the small item. I wonder if I made a mistake. I should have probably cut the Steam Ladle. I could have gotten more value out of this fight from the VIP pass by going as deep into Sandstorm as possible. I think I kill him before Sandstorm even shows up. It's actually a not insubstantial mistake to have left this in. I lost like plus 4 or 5 value on my fixer-upper just now by doing that. I need to be better about that. I've very rarely gotten runs with VIP pass, just hasn't played out that way for me. Anyway, the Piggles regenerating are now worth a gold thanks to the loop. Turbo. So traditionally, Turbo Fixer-Upper isn't great. However, if I'm using Fixer-Upper to stall until they die from Steam Ladle, it's a lot better. The issue with taking Turbo on the Fixer-Upper is I have to get a Curio for it to be good. It has to haste 3 items for 2 seconds. It's not good enough with just Turbo. However, if I put that on Cold Room instead, it hastes 2 items for 3 seconds, and it might even be the faster item in many matchups. Very few, I would think, though. I think this is just a random on the Fixer-Upper. It's very hard to do worse than Turbo here. There are definitely bigger misses. That's not one of them. That is double value on the Fixer-Upper, which is actually better than Shielded in this case because we have the Abacus in the back. Toss the Flamethrower now. I don't want to look at him. We have weapons from Ayla, which means nothing to us. 10 regen, which is just very, very minor at this point in the game, and a Nufu. Nufu is incredible. Just skills can be the most broken thing in the game, and they can also do next to nothing. Reserve Shield would be good if I had something like a Force Field or a Spiky Shield. However, my health value is not great. I think I still take it just because it does something, and spending 6 gold, I might roll into something more expensive that does less. I'm going to take the Reserve Shield. It's not incredible, but it's doing something positive immediate. All right, we just went to the moon. I'm sorry, I didn't analyze that middle is a bad shop now that this is at Diamond, and there was a third option. I didn't even see it. Investment Pitch, each character has a thing that shows up to once per run for them. It can never show up a second time. For Pig, it is Investment Pitch. There are incredible options here. 4xp is a ton. Double your income is crazy. Upgrade your leftmost property, that can be all right. But double the value of your leftmost item. If anything, we got this too early, but thank God we got to level 10 when we did, because it's an additional so much more value now. Because I believe this is going to snapshot with golden and do something stupid. It's at 194 right now. It should go to just under 400 if it interacts properly. It went to 600. That's exactly how I thought it would work. It's the same bug that Spices has. It snapshotted the value. So, this is going to double in combat to 4.6 thousand on day 8, which is pretty good. I don't really see the reason to put in Abacus considering how high that value is. We should win this every time. That is an insanely large fixer-upper for this day. If I had taken Turbo, my fixer-upper would be down 5/6 of its current value. That's what the haste would have cost me. You know, those are pretty big caltrops, and his board doesn't go off that fast, but he will just die before me, I think. Because I'm going to freeze the shit out of him with Cold Room, scale up my burn to the moon. He will never deal enough damage to get through this. This fight probably takes a while, but I do win in the end. That's my current read. Like, it's a good board. Scaling caltrops with solid enough defenses, but I'm at 30,000 shield on 20 seconds. Despite the fact I think I've already taken like 4,000 or 5,000 damage from the caltrops. Yeah, he's dead. Didn't even make it to Sandstorm. I actually thought we'd go a lot longer than that. His defense scaling was not as strong as I thought it was. So, quick recap. Haven't looked at one in a while. 4k damage from caltrops. The rest of his heal items just really didn't do anywhere near enough. 15 uses an apropos with Chapeau, but really this is all just feeding into the Cold Room scaling this. That dealt 456 burn while I was making myself invincible with the fixer-upper. Alright, 5 wins on day 8. This is a far cry from the start of the run. Going 5-3 on day 9, like, depending on how your run's going, that's either terrifying or super comfortable. If you're a weapon Vanessa that falls off, you're panicking right now. On the other hand, I, as Pygmalion here, am incredibly comfortable. We have a massive fixer-upper that is scaling very, very well. We have room to find like a sub-scraper enchant over here to win the run with it, and we might be able to just go 5 more wins with these defenses and the steam ladle setup. I think I go Kev. I'm willing to take a spiky shield now. Suddenly, spiky shield just seems like a good decision, you know?
Where's your hustle?
However, I am going to remember to actually use rewards card. It seems important.
People here look so...
Sadly, there is no way that's ever correct for this build, but I will roll. Shield equal to this item seal. I was hoping it was like something crazy, because I don't know what the hogwash enchants are in the current setup, current patch rather, but that's nothing. We do, however, get the extra 4 value from rewards card doubling, so that's nice. Non-weapons, shock bars, Midsworth. That's an easy Midsworth. Midsworth can sell us a rewards card upgrade. I thought it was an easy Midsworth. It's sounding a lot less impressive now. VIP pass doesn't do anything, it just haste for more. Part of me is like, you go non-weapon item because a ledger is possible, because loot items are possible. There's nothing at Midsworth, right? Like, I'm specifically going here for only Steam Ladle, which is already enough burn. And it's plus 4 value. I have the rewards card. I want to upgrade the rewards card. Windmill just doesn't strike me as a very usable card, unfortunately. If I dropped everything else, I could put it between Cold Room Fixer-Upper, but it still wouldn't do anything. Hey, it's the VIP pass that really doesn't do anything when I upgrade it. I can. There's also a giant ice club here, and I have a diamond ice room, so it is worth thinking about that at least a little bit. Alright, I've thought about it for a little bit. I have a 600 value fixer-upper on day 9. I think I'm done thinking about it. Is that good? Do we need to think any further? Like, the idea is you run it over the other 3 items. I would rather, like, this wins PvP fights anyway. At least for day 9. And this isn't going to win PvP fights with just an ice room later. It makes me more vulnerable to freeze because I have less items. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Board is set up properly. We have no reason to care about Pharaoh's... one shot, 1 kill could be very good down the line. But I'm going to take the most experience rather than a, like, 1 in 10 shot at a skill that might someday make a build I don't yet have better. Distributed Systems is very, very, very good. I would love to hit that skill. Keen Eye is great. I would be happy with a gold battery, I think. Not really. It doesn't do enough. So I can't charge the fixer-upper since it charges the item to the left. It's a lot of shield. God damn it, I did it again! I'm not supposed to bring my Steam Ladle here. I'm throwing away scaling. It's just so unintuitive for me to be like, cut your only offensive item. It's something that I can keep track of when I'm playing without super in-depth commentary, just normal, like, explaining my thought process, but not here. Goodbye, Piggles. Don't think I'll be running the coolant. I have no weapon skills, shield skills aren't great, Pygmalion skills are alright. I can get cooldown reduction on my buildings, I can get... That's kind of it. There's a lot of dead wins, there's a couple of okay wins. I'm basically rolling for specifically defense grid here and specifically the building scalings on Tuscarora. Still though, I think I'm more likely to get something good with properties on Tuscarora. Property mogul is really bad, makeshift plates very little, I don't care about the income, I roll that every time. When you use a property, adjacent items gain 5% crit. Doesn't work very well, unfortunately. If you have 5 or fewer items, reduce their cooldown, or when you use a tool, heal 10. This currently doesn't trigger. If I found a subscraper, this would go off, so I am going to pick it up, because ideally I transition to subscraper here. And I still have a very good Grandmaster, even with long strides.
More from one day in the Bazaar than a decade in a...
Medkit, Tip Boost, or Barcoon. Barcoon who can sell me a subscraper. And who can also upgrade a balcony. And he can buy my shit for slightly more gold. It's just the other options do very, very little.
Small things.
Oh, I actually haven't gotten to show this off in the run yet.
Never resell this.
How many spaces does that take? 3. I need a little bit more room.
This is a
So I will drop the hatchet. So, Barcoon sells medium and large items, and he buys small items for extra value. Normally an 8 gold silver safe sells for 6 gold. But because Marcoon is here, they sell for 3 gold each, meaning it sells for 9 gold. So it's actually just plus 1 gold to buy the save from him. I have the loop, so it's actually plus 4 gold instead. But you can scam Marcoon as Pig. It's very funny. Would I ever run Belt? No. Not a chance in hell. My health is tremendously less than my shield values. What are we talking about? I also don't really have the inventory space to float one. It's probably going to give me less health than just having a globe, so I'll be on my way. I was expecting to say sea fight, click fight a lot more in this run than I have been. That's sort of the same mindset behind Bazaar Con, though. It's just a ton of experience. Take this out, put VIP pass in. Should I be doing this differently? Should I consider running Abacus? Because, I mean, it's got 670, it's 1.3k shield after the balcony triggers. Like, it's good. I just don't think I need it. I think if I'm going to die, I'm going to die by such an outrageous margin that a change in item doesn't matter. They're not getting through the shield. It's going to be something else. Or they're getting through the shield so comically effectively that it doesn't matter what I do. We'll see if I'm wrong. I can't really imagine losing to a 2-win Pig, though. See, that's the skill I was looking for. That one's all right. Hey, he's got the subshape I'm looking for, too. There's a slight gap in Fixer-Upper's quality here. My Fixer-Upper's an order of magnitude larger than his is. Now, unfortunately, I have to stack enough burn to deal with this Fixer-Upper before I get killed by Spike Shield. I think I managed that, because I can just tank the first several Spiked Shields, which, good thing I can. Good fucking thing I can, because otherwise this would not go well. In fact, I don't even burn through his shield. He doesn't have enough items going off for it to work properly, but because my Fixer-Upper is so much larger, I'll just beat him in fatigue. Actually, I was starting to get through his shield right as this got here. I guess I was getting bad crit RNG before it got to nearly 100%. But yeah, there is a slight difference in Fixer-Upper quality between our builds here. This man took Arbitrage. Why would you do such a thing? You're on 2 wins. Honestly, he probably took Arbitrage right before he died. He probably wasn't given much of a choice in the matter. I think I take loot item here. I can get 4 income, but I have what feels like unlimited gold. 4 income isn't really going to make a difference. If I need money, I just sell the VIP pass. I get gold tier loot item for potentially wings and vials of blood and feathers. There are big hits there. Medkit was not one of them. We have shield that's wasted on a monster encounter, chocolate bars we don't have room for, or JJ, and that narrows it down to let's go JJ. When you level up, gain 100 max health. I level up more than once a day, so weirdly enough, this is better than Globe. Not that they're mutually exclusive, I can just take both.
If that doesn't work out for you,
and my only fear is that I die before I start going off, it seems like. So I am just going to do that. I didn't put the... Why am I so bad about this in this run? Oh my god, it's actually mind-numbing. I hope you're cringing as hard as I am. Interesting question. Should I go to Fins? There's no weapon Ayla can sell me. Like, it's literally just going there for 2 gold. Well, 4 gold because of the golden enchant, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna go to Fins. I genuinely think the max health matters more.
unstoppable.
And the regen should matter more than the shield, because basically I'm more concerned about poison than anything else. Now, for once, we're going to remember to do this correctly. We just take out the steam ladle. And I guess, like, we put in a piggle or something. Oh, right, we can just put this in. And the piggle is doing nothing, so I can put that in for a more powerful effect. Do I want Trash Titan for a chance at Juggler, or do I want 1 experience? I think it's an easy Vulcus Enforcer. Normally, I would probably go for Juggler here, but if you look at my experience, if I get 2 experience from the fight and 3 experience from the hour, that's 5 experience. I don't level up today. So because it's an experience threshold for leveling up to 13 on this day, yeah, I'm gonna go Vulcus Enforcer. I should win this 100%. Just the value on Fixer Upper is so stupid that even though Vulcus can scale quite well, it shouldn't matter. And this is gonna be a long win, folks. I do literally no damage, and he has a lot of shield, which is actually perfect, because him having a ton of shield means that he's going to last a lot longer in Sandstorm for a lot more value gain off the VIP pass. Of course, we will have to sit through this raucous nightmare of him constantly spamming the very loud shield effect with Cryo Sleeve. But yeah, there's no chance he ever scales anywhere near enough to kill me, so you know, Sandstorm will get him eventually. I'm gonna go get a glass of water and edit to the end of this when he finally dies. Oh my god, it's still going. I got back to my room before he dropped dead. Well, he's dead. When you freeze, your items actually not useless in this run. That's almost always a skip, but with a cold room and this stuff, yeah, that's good. Up to 1,350 value, I say. Get that positioned correctly. Get everything back down. Prospero's really good. He can sell me a ledger. But he's up against experience gambling. This guy is worth average 3 experience, which is very, very good. But I'm still tempted to go Prospero because, like, dude, I really want a ledger, but there's so many hits, aren't there, that aren't a ledger? And that's not a rhetorical question. You can just figure that out. You can go to howbazaar.gg, go to Pig Economic Items, and see there are 30 hits, meaning it is a 6 out of 29 chance to actually get the one that I want. It is a 4 out of 5 chance to give up 3 experience for nothing. That doesn't sound like a good decision to me. So I'm gonna go gamble for experience instead.
At the edge of the foundation, they wait.
Now, upgrade an item can go for 100 health when you level up, 100 health at the start of each day, 1 gold on your shit when I don't need value, 5% cooldown reduction, 1 gold when you visit a shop, or 2 burn scaling. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm supposed to upgrade the Steam Ladle. We might be going 10 wins on this setup, so scaling this 33% faster seems like the thing to do. I really didn't want to use a level 13 upgrade on that, but I don't know that I have an alternative. Anyways, see fight, click fight. I don't care about a ride, I don't care about medkits. The extra experience from every fight is tremendously valuable. Hey, there's our chance at Juggler after all. Once again, I'm removing all items from my board, so this fight's going to take a while. I'm just going to edit to the end of it. We started off at 2704 as our shield value outside of combat. Let's see what it gets up to. Sadly enough for the Trash Titan, it looks like I just out-regen their poison entirely. I knew I wouldn't die. I didn't realize it would be this disappointing to watch, though. And we get up to 100% crit chance over the course of Sandstorm because of reaching the summit, which is pretty solid. I should have made room for a Piggle. I didn't realize that. Oh well. And our shielding value out of combat's 2816, so I think we gained a little over 100 base shield there. Oh, whoops, I sold the blue pickle. I organized my inventory wrong. I wasn't paying attention. I sold the crit scaling pickle. Thankfully, I had crit scale already with reaching the summit. I'm going to use the gold pickles to charge these now, but that was definitely a mistake. I would much rather have not done that. We're getting to a point where it's day 10, and maybe it's right to cut this, but I'm still just like such a ridiculously large fixer-upper that I don't think I need to cut anything. Also, Dooley is not well poised against this. Cold Room is better the more your enemy does stuff. I have Cold Room at Diamond, Steam Ladle at Diamond. The faster my opponents use their items, the worse it is for them. And Dooley is the item chaining guy. That is his identity. So I feel very comfortable that I do not need to take out VIP Pass here at all.
You do see these tusks, right?
All right, Teshi, what is it? Oh, that's a lot of items, Teshi. That's not looking good for you. Wait, are they all weapons? Oh no, that's a lot of very high damage items. I'm suddenly scared. Wait, hold up. Wait, no, I'm not scared. I have a 5.6 thousand fixer-upper. Why am I worried? There is no way it's enough damage to kill me. I will admit, it's a fucking lot of damage. And, oh no, it's scaling. He has something. He has beautiful friendship. It's not enough, but holy shit, was it a lot. Let's click a recap on that and see how much damage I just tanked. I had 27k shield at the end of it, which seems like a one-sided fight. It kind of was, but yeah, he dealt kind of a lot of damage. Since I had 27,000 shield at the end, he dealt 23,000 damage before the Steam Ladle put him down. Beautiful Friendship did a lot in that build. Mod Squad gave him something good. 7 wins, huh? Felt like it. Oh wait, does he also have... No, he has no shield on him to charge. Very strong build though. I'm always happy to see DJ Robot looking good. Small weapon, chocolate bars, JJ. That's an easy JJ, but what's not so easy in my experience has been putting the rewards card on Fixer Upper.
I'm a people person, and sometimes I sell stuff.
Oh, it's only at 720. It was bugged out and showing the balcony value that last time when I was confused. What else? It's fine. Hey, Matchbox is back. Don't really need you, buddy.
Maybe I should lower my prices.
Scrap, Artisan Dunes. I'm gonna have to go. Pole's not very good. I mean, it's still the right thing to do is go pole. Yeah, he can give me Subscraper. I would be very happy to see Subscraper. Private Hot Springs is very good, but I don't think I have room for it, do I? When you freeze, charge this 4 seconds. It's in some ways very similar to Steam Ladle. Like, the idea is that you run this where the golden fixer-upper is, and you can create similar sorts of builds where you're stalling and regenning. Obviously, the 5,000 shield fixer-upper is better in that respect. Skyscraper's just way too slow. Pawn Shop's not good. We roll that. And the second page is much less interesting and not very good.
I will play this game with you.
No weapons, no heal, diamond skills. Not really much of a choice.
Power for my own gain, you know.
So I can take plus 1,500 health on Diamond Heart. I can take, when you fall below half, heal for 30% of your max health and cleanse half your burn and poison. I actually think that's more valuable. And the reason I think that's more valuable is because one of the few things that might beat us is a poison build. Our defenses do nothing. We have a little bit of a slow scaling. So this is about 30% more health right now. This is going to functionally do something very, very similar, but give me a much better win rate against poison builds. So I'm going to be happy to take that because I sort of have one Achilles heel right now. And again, I'm going to have to edit out most of this fight because it's going to be kind of boring to watch, unfortunately. Since I don't do anything. Starting value 724, let's go get Lord Arkan, right? Everything's positioned correctly. And this guy doesn't scale, doesn't do a whole lot. Like, if you have a weak build on day 10, Lord Arkan can kill you. But if you have a remotely good build, you generally bully him, and just the fixer-upper would win. The rest of my board's pretty unnecessary. Unwavering's always a good item, or a good skill rather, to get, but on this build specifically, it's not very great. And since I am at 14 prestige, I don't really much care about Arkan's Ring either, although... Yeah, it doesn't even get me Diamond Victory. I'm 1 prestige off of that, too. There's really just nothing in the Arkan fight I care to get. Inventory space is, as always, a problem. Blue Pickle's axe isn't good enough. We toss that in the ectoplasm. We pick up the Gatling gun. We have heal item, aerodrome, or curio. If I had any haste or slow, I'd be very tempted to go curio. But I am going to roll aerodrome here instead. Probably going to end up going to a store in the end, but not here yet. JJ's a pretty bad store. Can't say no to the hat shop. What do you have for us, Addy? If you could give me 3 random loot items and they were all diamond wings, that would be pretty cool. We're halfway there, baby. The reason I didn't analyze Hat Shop is because it's so random. Hat Shop and Mysterious Portal are both incredibly good events where the average value is very high, but there's no way to predict what it's going to do.
A rabbit, of course.
Well, it's not what I was hoping for, Hattie. Pick up the extract, the truffles. Immediately put the truffles on this. The truffles have been reworked in case anyone's wondering why I keep selling them. They don't stack up. It's just a flat value now. The Vial of Blood, however, is quite good. So I'll toss that. I should technically hold the extract for a little bit, but it's not going to matter. Fins is fine. I'm happy to go to Andy and try to upgrade the rewards card, get the +2 value guaranteed. Diamond Pickles? I mean, they're on my board, sure.
Tell everyone you got it here.
Switch out VIP Pass, put it back in. Put in the Steam Ladle as well, I imagine. And we're done with Andy. We're going on to our day 11 fight, 7 and 3. For our level up, we're getting Candy Collector, which is not going to fit in our stash and not very good, or Gold Tier Loot Item. Pretty easy choice for me. I'm taking Gold Tier Loot. As established earlier, you basically never take the Gold Tier item unless you're trying to fill out a board. He's 1 win ahead of me, but he's on death's door, so he was winning much earlier. He's not winning late. On this Vanessa, I want to show that you can kind of establish what a run is looking like. Their prestige is that it looks like 1 pip. It looks like they died, right? So they have 8 wins, because we can see that, and it's day 11, so 2 losses. That actually means that they did not die. If they only have 2 losses, the most prestige they can have lost is 10 plus 9. They're actually just at 1 health, and they've lost the past 2 days. I can figure out that exactly looking at the current amount of prestige and wins they have. But generally speaking, if you see someone at 8 wins, and low prestige on day 11, that means they were losing late fights. They're falling off later. If they're at 8 wins and high prestige, which is sort of where I'm at, that means they're winning later and very strong for the day. So you can sort of predict how strong your opponent's going to be. This isn't very important, but it can sometimes affect like what you put on your board. And again, that's why I'm not changing VIP Pass. I think this guy's falling off. My build's very good. I'm comfortable with this.
Are you sure?
If he is like the one counter build of Poison Vanessa, then that does fall off. That would explain why he's falling off, but he's not. He's just dead. This build is not killing this fixer-upper, man. It looks like Wide Vanessa. He has Heated Shells, Silver-Loaded Fury, a Bloodhound that will never trigger. A couple of Starter Fight Freezes, which is pretty good. But I still managed to get 5,000 shield before any of them went off, and now I'm just completely out of range forever. Does he have unlimited ammo from something? No. No, he doesn't. He does not have unlimited ammo at all. Wait, does this have unlimited ammo? No, it's out.
Bring her about.
It's just ammo display bug. The only thing that has unlimited ammo is the shiny double barrel and the javelin. The rest of this just runs out. It's not enough. Also, why is he side? Oh, I understand. It's for the flat damage on ammo. Yes, I see. But yeah, that dude's build has fallen off a cliff. That's the sort of build that really needs to close it out on day 10 or 11. The fact that he is going into day 12 with that build is probably not a good thing. Don't care about that Piggle at all. We're going to remember the rewards card. It's only at silver, but it still matters. Scrap, chocolate bars, or JJ. JJ can upgrade my balcony. He can sell me a skyscraper. Sorry, a subscraper. There are things we can get at this that matter. So it is worth rolling, even though we're mostly coming here for +2 gold. Andy is a less good shop for sure. He's basically just very unlikely to sell me a rewards card because it's day 12 and he can only sell it at silver. The alternative is like incredibly minor gains from a gumball machine though, so I am going to take this shop.
You can't afford
And I am going to roll looking for that rewards card. A lot of silver items, none of the ones I needed.
Class isn't for everyone.
And once again, we are going to be editing out this fight probably. Because we don't want to lower our scaling. We want maximum scaling. Let me check Awakened District's signature item real quick. So Awakened District, every 13 seconds, shield equal to health, deal damage equal to shield. That doesn't kill me, we're fine. Okay. It's a lot of damage. If I had a smaller fixer-upper, I would probably have to run the ladle here. But instead, this will never scale enough. It'll hit me 9 seconds into Sandstorm for a pretty substantial amount, and then after that, Sandstorm will kill him. There's no way it will ever scale up to enough to threaten me. It just gives me so much time in this fight to get VIP pass value. And that's really been the run in a nutshell. We got Fixer Upper. It was like the only thing we found in the early game, so we kept it for a while. Got it high enough to transition early. Found VIP pass, had a strong build that really just needed Cold Room. The matchbox was falling off. And yeah, now we're just out here farming. And as said, yes, it's going to hit me once about 9 seconds into Sandstorm for a lot. It looks like it's hitting me for 10,000. But I still have 70,000 shield. It just doesn't matter. It's actually going to manage to go off again. I wasn't expecting this, but this is great. The more shield it can generate, the better. Like, I want this fight to go until fatigue kills us. I want as much time to VIP pass stack as possible. And it's very important that I started being better about VIP pass and removing the Steam Ladle from my board, because it gives me so much additional value over the course of this run. We can kind of figure out how much value it's given me exactly as well. I'll calc that after this fight. It made it 365 fatigue again. That's how long it survives if you don't touch it. I mean, it's a diamond skill. I mentioned earlier that I was somewhat hesitant to take some of these weaker skills because, like, it makes your Grandmaster worse. Not that we've seen Grandmaster this run, but it does do that. Diamond skills can't show up at Grandmaster. They're already max rank, so even though it's a very minor, it's worth doing. Upgrade an item. I think I'm just going to go with cooldown reduction on Balcony here. I could also go gold skills. 5% CDR is very, very minor. There are some pretty majorly impactful gold skills. I'll actually prefer to do that.
If not this life, the
First time you use a large item each fight, freeze one item for 4 seconds. I'll take that. It's fine.
you learn skills.
Meaningfully increases my chance of winning against a really broken one-weapon build that has finite damage output from stuff like Flurry of Blows and Alacrity, so I will be happy with that. And out of curiosity, I do want to see how much value I've farmed out of VIP Pass this run. You can see the Cold Room is 102 value, which minus 16 is 86 value. Then we take the 215 from VIP Pass, subtract that 86 from the cold room that it gained, and then subtract its own base value of 4. It has given 125 value to my fixer-upper, which is massive. Oh, right, we're going to a store. We need to move rewards card. And again, item, don't need gold at all. I'm fabulously wealthy. Colt, don't like that event at all. Doesn't do anything. It's basically just get an item. Hey, it's Ice Luge. That's a very good item. Is that item good enough to change how I'm playing my build? So Ice Luge freezes your adjacent items for 1 second, but then permanently reduces the cooldown, which obviously is good when the cooldown's low and the effect is massive, but it's also good on Steam Ladle. It's inconceivable that I do not buy and float the Ice Luge because it's so good at Diamond. The Piggle isn't doing anything, but honestly, there's a maximum of like 4 days left. The Globe is not worth floating, and I need to buy the Signet Ring as well. That's why I'm doing this. Signet Ring is just plus health per hour. Again, the only thing I'm afraid of is dying before Fixer-Upper goes off, so the Signet Ring helps with that. And roll here, we're still looking for that rewards card. Not getting it. That's fine, though. I don't think I'm willing to use Ice Luge just yet. Shield Enchant. That is worse than Golden, for sure. Or more accurately, there's just no reason to care about it if you have Golden. It's probably insane on the Steam Ladle. Like, why wouldn't I, is the question. It's going to scale up to be more shield. It does something. I kind of think the VIP Pass has done its part. I think I've scaled it up enough that it doesn't need to scale any further, right? It's 6.6 thousand on day 12. I'm going to enchant the Steam Ladle with Burn. I believe this is the correct play. Or sorry, with Shield. It's already a Burn item. It is a pig with 7 wins, which is quite scary. He's died, so he's up an enchant on me. I think this is a good fight to not use VIP Pass on. It's the first one in a long time where their win rates implied they're scary. And I don't get rid of this because I still want to use it during monster fights, but let's go see how Chopsky's doing. I think getting the faster Fixer-Upper after the first cycle is definitely worth it. I think getting the much faster Steam Ladle is definitely worth it. It's my only offenses. He has a shielded crane and a turbo billboard. I might be dead to exponential scaling. This is a 1 second large item with crane. I'm just probably dead, I think. It depends on how much cold room can interrupt him. I don't think there's any way for me to win this. It's exponential scaling offenses and defenses. That's so fucked. There's nothing to do. Oh. Yeah, there's no winning that one. Yeah. It also has a crit chance, apparently, that scales to 100%, because of course it does. Yeah, so that's what the new billboard does. I was wondering, like, why I would care about billboard. The answer is it's the best crane scaler in the game. It's just in the wrong class. Anyway, this is why you don't want to be trying to win on day 15, is, yes, you're great at winning on Pig. You should be comfortable trying to do that. You'd still rather win earlier, because what the fuck are you going to do against that crane, right? Like, I would love to have just killed him with a different Fixer-Upper enchant, but that has not been presented to me. Anyway, get the luge out, bring this over. JJ chocolate bars and medkits. It's got to be JJ. Not a lot of upgrades here that matter, but there are a couple. No thanks to all of that.
Okay, it was nice to see you.
Weapon skills, shield skills, pig skills. Property cooldown's very good. Like, very, very good.
Alien, I promise I won't assign you homework.
Minimalist. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. I just said its effect completely wrong. So 10% cooldown reduction on everything's very, very good. Tip boost is not going to affect my chance of winning, so even though Ayla's literally just 2 value on this Fixer-Upper and cannot give me anything I care about, it's not entirely true. Hey, Obsidian Bob, that's a pretty cool item. I could have gotten a Lion Cane upgrade there, which would have done something. And as always, we are going to be doing ridiculous value scaling things, although it's actually even better than it used to be, because now we can Ice Luge the Fixer-Upper to scale shield even more. And once again, I just sort of need to edit out the fight, because there's nothing happening here. We just sit here until fatigue kills him after about 45 seconds, because he does generate quite a lot of shield with Unwavering. See you then. Oh, and for anyone who is wondering, like, is this mispositioning with the Ice Luge? I need VIP Pass on one side of Fixer-Upper, and I need this on the other side. Going from 3.6 to 2.6 is better than going from 3.6 to, I believe, like 3.25. thrusters, fine by me. Value continues to scale just ridiculously. Is there anything I care about at Kev's? Not really, but it is value scaling, if nothing else. He can sell me a Lion Cane. I'm just going to take 5% health. Again, I'm very afraid of somebody one-shotting me before Fixer Upgrade goes off. That's like one of the only things I'm actually weak to. Toss this useless Piggle I just got. Get a Diamond Tier loot item. Or maybe a Gold Tier loot item. Hopefully it's a cooldown thing. It's not nothing. Prospero, it's a bit late, but if you want to give me a deed, I'll still take it. Sorry, a ledger. We have new words. Yeah, rewards card, of course. Rearrange the board. I believe this is the best board I can have. I think Abacus is never happening at this point, just because lowering the cooldown on Fixer Upper is more important than using the Abacus. And again, I still feel strong. My opinion on this build basically won't change from days 13 to 15. Dooley's very scary. He's at 9 wins, so he's doing a little bit better than me. It looks like he's died and I haven't, but that's really just down to the grace of God in terms of which days we lost on. I think I'm probably very favored against most Dooleys. Let's see how it goes.
My dreams are too big for you to steal.
He has Restorative Robotics Facility. Oh, he's doing nanobots again. With Toxic, though, and it's going to be a fucking lot of Toxic. And he has Blizzard with random start of combat freeze on Fixer Upper. I'm feeling a little bit scammed here. We managed to shield eventually, but it might be far too little, far too late, yeah. It doesn't actually matter, he just deals so much poison. Dude, that was ridiculous. Oh, man. So, how much poison was that? 264 on the worst little guy. Why was it that high? What's the damage coming from? It's not scaling in combat at all. That's just the base value. That's crazy. If I had gotten the random freeze on something other than Fixer Upper, if it had like the Piggles or the Cold Room, I might have been able to win that. Just because I would have had several thousand more health because the Fixer Upper would go off earlier. But I think I was just dead no matter what, right? Watching this again. No, it's scaling up a lot at the start of fight, and then it stops? I didn't catch it in the moment, but the answer is he has Blizzard with Shatter, so all of his guys gained 10 damage for every one of my active non-weapon items, which is a lot of damage scaling at the start of fight. And honestly, with the amount of burn he had when he died, I'm pretty sure if his random freeze had gone on anything else, the Fixer Upper going off slightly earlier would have actually won the fight with the health difference. This fight is a pretty hard scam. Worst RNG, very strong counter matchup. Kinda sucks to watch it back. Anyway, this is yet another example of why the current system where things generate enchanted things when you buy them. Like, he just upgraded a toxic DJ robot and it gave him 3 poison guides and it fucking rolled me. And yeah, there's nothing anyone can do about that other than killing him first. There's no defense to that. Random enchantment location. Fiery's probably better than shielded. Yep, I'm just going to replace the enchantment. There's not a lot that's likely better than that. But hopefully we do not bomb out at 8 wins. It happens. I will be uploading this regardless of how the final 2 fights go. Because, you know, Overexplained includes why you lose and what you could have done differently. Alright, sorted my board for going to shops. Get a tool is useless. Chocolate bars is useless. We go Barcoon. I'm not sure if we would even care about a subscraper at this point, but I'm going to roll and then think about it if I see it, which I don't actually do. We happily hit Bazaar Con here. Like, yes, middle is good. Experience is better. Health is king. Middle's not even that good. She can sell me Balcony. That's literally it. Anyway, once again, we're going to have a very long, very sandstormy fight against Awakened District. I'll be back with you once we see what this 888 scales up to over the course of the fight. Alright, fight's over. Once again, we don't get the skill we care about. Don't care about this. Don't care about this. What is my setup for fights again? It is that. The Abacus doesn't matter, so the Abacus is getting sold to make room. That's actually the best possible enchant we could have gotten. The reason for that is because you put the haste on the balcony. And now that we have the and chance on everything else sorted, getting this is very good. When you use the property to the left of this, haste 2 items for 2 seconds, that is a lot of haste over the course of the fight. Toss Land Scraper, it technically scales for money, but we have unlimited money. There are 2 days left in the run. It's incredibly late to get a ledger. But I am still willing to roll for a ledger.
Hello, my friend.
It's also just the only shop. Golden Stained Glass Window. When you win a fight with Stained Glass Window in play, your properties gain 5 value, double value bonus, so it's actually 10 value. And if you have 5 or fewer items, it gives 10% cooldown reduction. The issue being, I don't kill anyone if I run this, right? I can't drop Cold Room because then Ladle doesn't scale. I can't drop Ladle. So the only way to run this is to drop Ice Luge, in which case, probably making my build worse. It does give me a little bit of value scaling in my next round of PvE fights, assuming I live the day. I have unlimited money, so it's wrong not to buy it, but it's not doing a lot. Enchanted item with heal effects doubles the regen gained by Cold Room. I have to believe that's more valuable than 3 value on the Fixer-Upper, which is kind of a drop in the hole at this point. So now we're looking at 18 regeneration every time that goes off, which is kind of a lot, you know? We may just be dead here. It is a 9-win Pygmalien that's turned the corner. I could also win. It seems unlikely. Pig is fucking terrifying in the late game, and I am not one of the most terrifying pigs by far. We could have won this if we had a better early game. He is Shielded Subscraper, Toxic Fixer-Upper. That'll kill me. Unfortunately, just Toxic Fixer-Upper is an insane amount of poison. He does not activate very many items. He only has 2 active items. So I will not be freezing enough to scale up my Fiery. Maybe I will. This is a lot of poison now that this thing's restorative. Or sorry, a lot of regen. And his Fixer-Upper is quite small, I'm noticing. I thought I was dead. It's very easy to just see Pig and assume you're dead in the late game. But these Caltrops don't matter. They basically don't do damage. 400 damage Caltrops to me doesn't exist. And yeah, his poison, it's a lot, but my regen's doing a ton to counteract it. And the burn gets fucking ridiculous pretty fast because it scales up to 200 with the Fiery, and the crit scaling's pretty good even without many sources of crit scaling on a slow build like his. All right, we take this. We're still in it. Still have a chance of going 10 wins. Shield skills is super, super minor. We don't have weapons. We go Tuscari, even though we're kind of just looking to upgrade a Minimalist.
He still disapproves.
There's no way to arrange for prime real estate. That's the huge problem. I either give up Piggles for speed on the Steam Ladle, or I give up... Yeah, because right now the Steam Ladle just goes off twice, and then the Piggles uses it a 3rd time, provided we don't get interruption. Long Stride simply doesn't work with my build with the items we ended up running. I want prime real estate to be usable, but giving up the extra use of the ladle every 3 seconds is probably worse. There's also not another item to run. I'm going to roll looking for the Minimalist upgrade. When you gain gold, gain health. That'll be a lot of health right at the end of the run when I sell everything in my stash, so it's not what you're looking for, but it's not literally nothing. Chocolate bar is non-weapon. That's pretty terrible. I'm gonna go take 3 gold off the Ayla. I will roll in case she has specifically Obsidian Subscraper, which is incredibly unlikely. The hatchet actually is something. I don't care about this Piggle. And I don't care. The loop generates a tiny bit of health if I hold it a little bit longer, but something does have to go. And it's gonna have to be the loop. And the reason it has to be the loop is because I need to buy this hatchet, which needs 2 slots, so I can put a little bit more value on the Fixer-Upper. And I'll hold the hatchet in case I get another one later in the day. Very, very minor, but worth caring about. It's the final day of the run, and I absolutely misplayed this shop. I have 140 gold that I'm never going to be able to spend, and I'm gaining 2 health for every gold I spent. It's super minor. It's not a big deal. But I should have bought and sold literally every single item at every shop on this day to generate an extra like 100 to 300 health, depending on how expensive they were. Minor mistake, but it is a mistake, and I will call it out. Curio is value, but Monster Ranch is cooldown reduction. It's far better. Silver Gunpowder is actually the best thing this could have sold because Ice Luge doesn't do enough cooldown reduction currently. Is that true? one of the things I have bookmarked is this. It is an image of the level up rewards. And there is no guaranteed upgrade at 21, unfortunately. If I want to upgrade Ice Luge, I just have to find it. So I'm going to take the gunpowder because I can't guarantee I get my Ice Luge to diamond, so this does something. Sell the gunpowder. Now, unfortunately, Void Colossus will destroy our whole board, so we're not going to scale value very effectively there. We also can't even guarantee to beat the guy, so we're going to rearrange our board and go fight somebody else. This is the standard farming orientation. We have one more shot at Juggler off of Trash Titan. And we should get a lot more value out of this one. We're starting at 962. The additional ammo here on Ice Luge, as well as the cooldown reduction on Minimalist, both of those should really add up to way, way more uses on the Golden Fixer-Upper. Anyway, see you in 40 seconds. So the Fixer-Upper gets down to 1.7 seconds and 100% cooldown reduction. I would still happily upgrade the Ice Luge to get it down to 1 second, but because of the Turbo Balcony, it isn't really necessary, although I would like it to go, you know, faster. Theoretically, it only affects, not a... Oh! That's actually hype. That's really good. I was not expecting to get Juggler. I have a very fast one-slot item, wouldn't you know? Fins for max health versus a little bit of scaling. I'm going to take the fins, to be honest. I'm worried about just getting one shot at the start. Here we have a guaranteed level up on Shrouded Figure, which is just more health than taking health. If I were at 1 pip to level here, I wouldn't need this to level and I would take the health, but here you take Seek Knowledge.
Is more than a city. It is.
And here, we can get a little bit more health. I should have been doing this all throughout the run, but I've been forgetting about it. By moving in all of these items that are not weapons, we increase our base health, giving this a slightly higher value. Now, let's arrange our board one final time. Oh, I forgot to use the golden stained glass window. Egg on my face, there goes 10, actually 20 value on this. Final value, 1010 Fixer-Upper, pretty damn large. And because it's always funny to do at the end of your run to sell all your shit and see what your total gold value is, but also because we have healthy tip, we sell everything in the stash, and it is a not insubstantial amount of health generated. 15,000 final health. We're both on Death's Door, we're both on 9 wins. I feel very well poised against most Vanessas, but there's simply a chance that they instantly kill me. If you see someone other than Pig making it to day 15 on 9 wins, they're probably doing something crazy to make it that far. Toxic Langian at only 2.5k? Do I see Alacrity? Do I see Flurry of Blows? I see a Turbo Silencer that's not working and a Boat and Random Freeze on Fixer-Upper. Please God, no. Okay, the Fixer-Upper's gone off, but I need a ton of regen to live through this, and I don't think I do. I have 1,000 poison. That'll be the end of the run, unfortunately.
You fall like a boulder.
Not that far from killing him, but just a shitload of cooldown reduction on the Langian, down to 5.4 seconds. Watch it again, see if there's anything I could have done differently. Did this go off? Yeah, I could have just not gotten the one random freeze he has on this, and then I'd have had 2.5k more health. I think that would have been the difference. I would have had another 2 seconds. No, probably not. He would have burnt down to like here, I think, but not actually in death because he's going so quickly. Just a very, very strong enchant on the Langian. Any other enchant on the Langian, literally any enchant other than poison, I kill him. It's really unfortunate they had that one specifically because, you know, I can't do anything to fix it. It's just the hard counter to what I'm doing. Which is how it goes sometimes. What can you do? It was a very strong build, but in the end it couldn't go 10 wins. And ultimately, if I were trying to analyze this run and figure out, like, where did things go wrong? How could I have made the build stronger? I'll probably put myself in post-commentary here, because editing my own videos, often I see mistakes that I don't notice at the time I was playing them. So maybe I've already been saying stuff in post-commentary, pointing out things, little things I did wrong, little things I could have done better. But right now, the big takeaway I have from this is something I already know, but is maybe not as obvious to a new player. I died on day 15 at 9 wins. Do you know why I didn't win? It's not because I lost on day 15, it's because I lost on days 1, 2, and 3. And there's really not anything I feel like I can learn from that because I was going to shops desperately trying to find things to make me stronger on days 2 and 3. Like, I skipped one shop that could have made me better on day 1 with an income start. I don't think that's wrong. And then on days 2 and 3, the shops just did nothing for me. If I'd gotten a matchbox at any point during the first 3 days, I think this is a 10-win run. But because I was forced to go into day 14 plus because I had a bad early game. And then as a result of that, you have to play the lottery. And I got fucking demolished by 2 poison builds as a shield build. So like, I think my takeaway from this run is just the thing I already know. It's really dangerous to lose in the early game because no matter how strong your build is, when you go to the super late game, you can encounter people who scale better than you, and you can encounter people who just happen to get the build that counters yours, at which point there is no counterplay with how much you both scaled up over the course of the run. Which is rough. It sucks fucking losing on day 15 with the build this strong to 2 consecutive poison builds. Well, the guy who killed me is poisoned, and this guy, I think there was a guy between them. But yeah, just having a fixer-upper this large and then losing to 2 massive poison builds, yeah, that fucking blows, man, you know? And I even took Healthy Heart to do my very best to try to give myself a chance against them. I forgot about that. Just wasn't enough on either of them. I think another reason it hurts so much to lose this run is because this is never the way I would like to fill my board on a fixer-upper build, right? I would have vastly preferred to have found a spiky shield at any point super late in the run. You can't go to Ayla because there is 1 item that is good. Maybe I should have been trying to give this up. The thing is, like, against most builds, literally against anything other than a poison build, this will kill them pretty goddamn effectively. So I wasn't willing to go to stores on just the chance of spiky shield, and every other thing Ayla could possibly sell me is bad. And then, like, I was going to every store that could have given me Subscraper, you know, the massive healing item that would easily have countered all those poison builds, kept me alive, taken any offensive enchant to help kill my opponents. I don't know. I do kind of feel like my big takeaway for this run right now, in the moment, is I got fucked on shop RNG. The only spiky shield I was offered, I got no Subscrapers, only 1 spiky shield. And the spiky shield was offered to me at a point in time where I was playing a matchbox build and not able to transition yet into fixer-upper. I do not know that I could take this to 10 wins, but maybe there's something I'm missing. I mean, I could take it to 10 wins with different opponent RNG. Playing a slow scaling shield build that does not kill your opponent quickly and encountering multiple insane base value poison builds in the last 3 days feels like tempo has it out for me. I mostly look at this as a game where I don't think I've learned anything new from it. I don't think I can take away anything other than I got bad shop RNG and really bad opponent RNG that sort of cost me, like, all 5 of my losses, right? My first 3 losses were all to opponents at a point in time where the game had given me literally nothing. My last 2 losses were to crazy poison builds, and these are not builds where they would obviously have taken poison every time, right? Poison was probably not the enchant they wanted. They would probably have preferred all of Shiny, Obsidian, and Fiery, which would have lost to my build. So, like, I don't know. I feel like it's important at the end of every run to try to figure out what you could have done better. But as you get better at the game, more and more often, you start saying, I don't know, man, I guess I was unlucky. And I don't know if that's ego or if it's actually the truth here. You tell me. Anyways, that'll be all for now. I hope you found this run enlightening in some way. It takes a whole hell of a lot longer to record than a normal pig run. And may you have better luck finding Matchbox or literally any item that does something in your early shops than I did. Because, you know, with a Ganjo, an Apropos Chapeau, a Matchbox, just an item that wins early game fights, you don't have to lose your first 3 days on income start. It's actually very easy to build early strong boards on Pig if you have an extra 12 gold. And I just could not find anything for 3 days, and that's why we're sitting here on a silver victory instead of a gold. Anyways, that'll be all for now. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Wait. Hit the like and subscribe button. If you made it this far, you know I earned it.